are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Don't look now. Chuck Norris is right behind you.
I heard superheroes read Chuck Norris comics.
I heard at night the boogeyman checks under the bed for Chuck.
I heard Chuck Norris's reflection won't even look him in the eye.
I heard when cops need cops, they call Chuck Norris.
I heard when Chuck gets in the water, sharks get out of the ocean.
I heard when Chuck Norris is hiking, grizzlies look out for him.
I heard Chuck Norris rides the motor without the cycle.
I heard Chuck Norris wears a hat to protect the sun.
I heard medicine takes Chuck Norris to feel better.
I heard what actually killed the dinosaurs was Chuck Norris.
I heard cats say they have Chuck-like reflexes. I think he's still got it.
I'll bet you a buck he catches a salt shaker.
You're on.
Hey, Chuck!
You owe me a buck.
Welcome to this week's edition of Black and Right Radio. I had to start that off because I'm going to tell you, man, when I was a kid, watching Chuck Norris movies was like my escape. Chuck Norris got me through my childhood, man, because, I mean, I was like, man, I wanted to be like Chuck Norris so bad. He was a legend. And just now, I mean, if you look at, I mean, even President Trump has done it with Mueller. When people die, dude, just let them die. Let them die. Let it go. Let them die. Don't come out with all of this nastiness. I don't agree with President Trump. I understand why President Trump feels the way he feels. It's not something I would say. I've seen it with Chuck Norris. People are now saying because he was a Republican, you know, they have issues with Chuck Norris. Now, Chuck Norris, of all people have issues with. So Chuck Norris is a hero in my book. He'll always be a hero. Even when he was a Democrat, Chuck Norris was a Democrat during the time that I loved him. And he shifted from being a Democrat to a Republican because he said the Democrats lost their way. And one of the reasons why I'm not a Democrat today because the Democrats lost their way. So I want to welcome in our Detroit, thank you, Blake Moore, our Detroit crowd, 92.7 and AM 1400, and our Chicago crowd. You know, my good buddy Dennis is in here. I wanted to bring him in because I wanted to get his take on the March 17th and what it means come November. So, Dennis, welcome back into the studio, brother.
John, thank you for having me. I was looking forward to coming today because I think we learned a lot about what November is going to look like by what happened both in the Democratic primaries and in the Republican primaries, especially in the collars.
You know, I want to show you, and this is going to be a little gross, so turn away if you're little kids. I didn't show you. That's what it looks like.
Well, I did see I saw the picture you sent me, but I didn't realize it ballooned that bad.
Yeah, so I was involved in an accident the other morning. I was negotiating a curve coming down a slope and didn't see the ice. And so there was a huge brick mailbox that said, yeah. And it, I'm showing it on the feed. My Apple Watch, the airbag burned my Apple Watch into my wrist. And Dennis, I'm going to tell you, brother, as I was coming down, I mean, as the impact, I don't know, that father nature, that protector kicked in. And I think that's how my wrist got, because I went to reach for my daughter and I felt the impact. I mean, man, it sent a jolt into my body, all over my body. And I felt the impact of the airbag too, and I think that's what I hit myself. I knocked myself out probably briefly, and I just saw my daughter's face, and it scared the bejeebies out of me. I said, "Did I just hurt my 3 daughters?" You know, it shook me a little bit, Dennis.
Well, like any other father and any other human, it's natural. I mean, here you have your most prized possessions in your vehicle, and you're the driver, and what happens if you're responsible for that? Now you have to deal with that, and like anything else, as we talked about, it's a car. The car can be replaced. People can't be, and I'm hopeful that burn or whatever that is, that's going to be going away slowly but surely. Is that how it's?
Yeah,
you need surgery on that?
No, it looks like a baby sack.
I know. It looks like it needs to be drained.
Yeah, well, they said that so the doctor said that I can't poke it. I've been wanting to poke it so bad.
Well, of course.
I want to take something hot and just bloop, but they said that I'll make it I'll probably infect it if I did it that way. It has to burst on its own. So I'm sure we got our own radio doctors out there who can tell us.
I'm sure, or ChatGPT will tell us too. So
yeah. So Dennis, I mean, there's a lot that I want to talk about. I also want to talk about this Elgin officer, Officer Lentz, who was fired because he gave ICE locations in Elgin where he said basically there are illegal immigrants are, and I'm not happy about him being fired, Dennis. I'm really not. These sanctuary city and sanctuary states and sanctuary county laws need to be fully challenged at the United States Supreme Court. It really do. It really does. And this whole thing, he was not in uniform, didn't say he was a police officer. He was on his person, and I get it. There are departmental rules, and now with social media, there are things you can and cannot say today. But fire him, Dennis?
Well, didn't he have another issue from before, though?
Back in 2014.
Right. So this was his second bite at the apple. But it's interesting, if you post where ICE agents are as a citizen, that's no problem.
Yeah. So if he would have made the post, hey folks, this is where ICE agents are, he would be beloved right now, right?
Right.
You think his department would have fired him?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there are illegal aliens all throughout this state and through our nation, and instead of our states focusing their resources where they can cooperate with ICE, like in the Illinois Department of Corrections or the county jails, where it's safe to transfer the individuals, we'd rather play games in the state of Illinois with the Safety Act and no cash bail, let everybody out so they couldn't even be held. And then you make ICE go run around and do traffic stops, which you know are extremely dangerous.
Nothing routine about a traffic stop.
And the other thing is they're not driving marked squad cars. They're driving all undercover squads so that you have no idea what those are. So these tend to lead into more poor outcomes for how these go. And then the tensions are there. Everybody can't help themselves. They have to run to the stop and take videos.
Yeah.
And then, ICE, those agents are bad. But, the other people I worry about now, John, are the TSA agents. I know some of those folks haven't been paid for months. You're behind on your rent and your car payments. This is brought to you by the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. Full stop. You want public safety. You can't get through the airport. But you saw what President Trump said, right?
ICE?
He's going to bring ICE there.
Do you think because of that, you think they're going to move quicker?
I have no idea. It probably would be a lot slower.
No. I mean, quicker to pass the funding for TSA.
Well, I would think so, but I don't think that's going anywhere because those TSA agents suffer in silence. Nobody cares. Nobody knows. And the only people who know are the people waiting around at the airport for 4 or 5 hours. And I can't blame every TSA agent that is retiring, resigning. They're disgusted, and we as a people have let them down, but that's the Democratic Party for you.
Yeah. You know what? I actually sent Lentz's information to a lot of my contacts within the Trump administration. It would be something else if the Trump administration hired him. And as it relates to either ICE or what if he go and works for ICE? I would hope that happens, brother. I really do.
Well, it's going to be a fast 3 hours here, John.
It's going to be a very fast 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, because I also I sent you the article. We're going to be talking to Tracy from Stack in the bottom of this hour. Something that may affect you as an attorney. I read that. Isn't that something?
I read the article, and there's an article about how AI, if you use AI as a general component like a search engine, and I'm going to ask the questions more specifically about if I have an account and everything else.
You know what, Dan? I'll let you kick off the interview.
I will. I thought of a bunch of questions because it's really interesting. to me, it's almost like when you give your DNA up for one of those background searches, you want to find your family, and now law enforcement can access that.
Yeah, but that wasn't in there in the initial, because I did it. None of that was in there when I did it, so I should have a say in that, right?
You would think that it would be people moving forward to a certain day, but I'm assuming that those databases can't be populated.
Yeah.
They could, I'm sure, but it's probably too expensive, and nobody wants to bother with it.
Yeah, it's funny because Ben Carson, remember that story he told about coming and give blood? He's like, you're not getting ready to put my DNA all over a place that I'm not in.
That's right.
I see your buddy Robert who I heard what he said on Dan Prof show the next day. We're gonna get it. I'm yelling at you, Robert, when you come on the air. So hold the line, Robert. You listening to Black and White Radio on AM 560, 92.7 FM, and AM 1400, Detroit, Michigan. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Mike Gallagher finds it hard to believe.
CNN describes the two terrorists in New York City as two teenagers from Pennsylvania who crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day before they threw a bomb and tried to blow up a bunch of people. It almost becomes impossible to believe.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Whether you're preparing for exams, juggling family and career, or just looking to stay sharp as you age, Think Factor is here to help. Created by the same company that makes Relief Factor, Think Factor supports sharper focus, stronger recall, and clearer thinking. It's the natural way to give your brain the daily nutrients it needs for memory, attention, and even vibrant vision. Call 800-4RELIEF. 800, the number 4RELIEF, or visit ReliefFactor.com to learn more. Look, I was a little bit skeptical. I started taking Think Factor. After a few weeks, wow, my memory, my focus, my concentration, better than ever. And Think Factor results get better the longer it's taken. If you want to stay focused during demanding tasks, keep your memory strong, maintain mental energy for whatever's ahead, well, Think Factor is for you. Call 800-4RELIEF. 800, the number 4RELIEF, or visit ReliefFactor.com to learn more and order Think Factor. Your first bottle is just $19.95. Think Factor. Think clearer, perform better daily. Call 800-4RELIEF or visit ReliefFactor.com for Think Factor.
RedState.com captures the pulse of grassroots conservatism. Red State staff of contributors are on top of breaking news with stories and analysis that challenge the established agenda. RedState.com educates, motivates, and activates passionate conservatives across America, arming them with the facts that put them ahead of the political curve. No wonder RedState.com is a must-read for elected officials and for citizens who want to make their vote count. RedState.com is the place where influence meets action. Log on to RedState.com today.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANSindustrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your savings last? How much should you take out and when? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Nolan Webster. Let's work together to make sure your finances meet your unique needs over the long haul. You've done what it takes to get there. Now it's time to make the most of retirement. Call me at 224-801-6107 to schedule an appointment. That's 224-801-6107. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
You know, they say Chuck Norris is so tough, there's no chin under his beard. There is only another fist.
That's ridiculous. Chuck Norris.
I'm sorry, guys. Don't yell at me, Dennis. I love Chuck Norris, man. Let's go to the phone lines. Dennis, your buddy Robert from Bloomingdale.
Hello, Robert.
First of all, Hey, first of all, hey, Dennis, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Retired and loving it and far away from that place. So thank you very much.
I'm glad to hear that.
Now, John, I'm here with a peace leaf here. I'm not here to get in any arguments, and that's over and done with. I will say this, that the movie Delta Force is our favorite picture.
Oh, yes. I love Delta Force.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Wait, which one? It was like 7,000 of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them. The original one was good.
Yeah, that's true.
With the people on the airliner, and then like the Delta Force, the Republican Party, regardless of how you feel, you got to vote Republican, or you're going to have more failure years of Fred Flintstone and his motley crew of radical lefties. But what do you think?
Well, that's one of the things that Dennis and I are gonna talk about. Well, I know Dennis and I were just talking about the Unity Breakfast, and what does that mean? What does that look like? I mean, you still see some of the sparring happening across supporters and candidates, and I mean, you still see a lot of that sparring right now. Listen, and in 7 years of doing radio, I have never endorsed a candidate. And one of the things I do, the moment the primary is over, I get behind the candidates full force.
Yeah. No, and I wasn't trying to say that you're favoring one person over another. You're just doing your job interviewing people, and I understand that quite clearly, So it was nothing personal.
I know. I didn't take that personal.
Oh, good, because I didn't want you to start yelling at me. I'm very sensitive.
No, I still want to yell at you. I want to yell. No, I'm just kidding, man.
I'm not Sean Thompson. I don't get controversy.
Hey, no one's Sean Thompson, man. Sean Thompson is in the league of his own.
Well, let's make sure we vote Republican and get rid of Fred Flintstone for governor, because this guy's terrible, especially. I mean, with assisted suicide and abortion, it's just out of control, and you take care.
Thank you. And Dennis, they also now want to put insignias on ammunition. So what do you call it? Serial numbers on ammunition now. I mean, Dennis, Dennis, why do you think the populace, they want to live under the rule of higher tax? Because you know it's coming. You know it's coming, because the more people leave out of this state, Dennis, doesn't that mean the people that are left behind have to pick up the bag?
Well, who's going to pick it up?
Right.
If there's more and more people coming here with less and less wealth, then at some point there's not enough money to go around. That's when you need a Democrat president to start shoveling more money to the state of Illinois, because it's a donor state, as some will have you believe. I think the biggest issue facing the state is obviously the brain drain and people voting with their feet. Right. They're out of here.
Yeah.
They're done. Go look at the DuPage County voting results to tell you what you should think about what the fall is going to look like.
Yeah.
The governor got 103,000 votes.
In
DuPage County in an uncontested race.
Mm-hmm.
If you add all the gubernatorial candidates together.
Don't tell me.
You're going to have to hear this, and all of the listeners have to hear it, because this is where you're starting off with 47,000, give or take a few votes.
Wow.
So tell me, everyone out there, I would like to know how. And you could say Darren Bailey, and I've heard how he was a Frankenstein that was made. That was a pretty interesting quote. Rauner was a Frankenstein that people created, and he wrought havoc all over the state. And now we have a Republican. We've seen the movie before. I love Darren. He's a nice enough man. He's had a terrible tragedy befall his family. Everybody should understand it's difficult enough to live. He's public enough that he has to live it in public, but the numbers just don't bear out. So think about what's going to happen in DuPage County. So who's the largest Republican county then? That's what I'd like to know.
Somewhere down south?
Is it down south now? Because, I used to tell people that we had the second most Democrats and the first largest amount of Republicans in the state. So you're going to get crushed in Cook County. We already know that. You're getting crushed in the city of Chicago. You cannot win Lake County. I think Will County.
McHenry County is draining now.
McHenry County is still red enough, but not by that much. You have the math just isn't there. and the people are fed up. Every person I talk to my age is looking for their exit strategy.
Yeah.
Why, John?
I mean, would you want to live in when you have the means to leave? Would you still want to live here?
No.
But what leads to this voter apathy? Was it because of how contentious this primary race was? I mean, you look at it's almost like it was a big old high school battle for who's going to be prom king and queen, right?
Right. I mean, so here, so Don Tracy wins. Don Tracy has an uphill battle by far. Go look at the numbers. You're going to look at our standard bearer. Darren didn't have any money. Ted Dabrowski had some money, but let's face certain facts. $4 million was spent against me a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Jamie Andrade, a former colleague of ours. You served with Jamie, didn't you? He ran for state rep in the city of Chicago. He spent over $1 million and lost to a CTU-funded person because he's not far left enough.
Wait, when did Jamie lose?
Jamie just lost in this primary.
What?
Yes. And Jamie...
Wait, Jamie, I'm in the hood. I mean, this dude he's probably one of the hardest Democrat workers in the state house.
So I want to challenge people that always talk about being out there and walking precincts and you're the incumbent, you got to be out there. This guy was one of the hardest working state reps I knew and know. He was at every event you could think about. He was at knocking on doors. He was always in the community, always involved. He's somebody who's a nice person, who is well-intended, more of a moderate. He's gone
and looked amazing because Jamie he lost a lot of weight.
He did. He got himself healthy. I think he completed his master's degree in business.
Wow.
So here is somebody that was really caring about the state and the community. He loses $1 million for a state rep seat in a primary.
Yeah.
Think about that. So you have all this contentious stuff. You have other people running. You have Heidner running. You have Mendrick running. They were never. Heidner had a tough start. You're unknown, and then you have to spend a lot of money to get to that known part. Sheriff Mendrick didn't have any money or resources. He didn't win DuPage County.
Why is it so hard for Republicans to raise money in this state, Dennis?
Because nobody believes that they can win.
Is it also because there's no brand of Republican?
No, and everybody likes to say that. If you look at here, Andy Beshear, remember when you and I always debate about him, there's the bill that allows you to take a federal tax credit for the private schools that Trump has, but the state has to pass it.
Yeah.
So Pritzker's against it. They're waiting right now. Andy Beshear vetoed, and then the Republicans overrode him because they're 80-20 in state reps and in the House or in the Senate. So it's perfunctory there. So imagine Darren Bailey wins and you have 40 people in the Illinois House and 19 people in the Illinois Senate that are Republican.
Wow.
What is going to happen?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
The math isn't there. So you'll head up some agencies. Whatever they want to do, they will pass.
Wait, but Dennis, I think the math. I think the bodies are there. I think what we're already at a disadvantage by a couple of 100,000 as far as the disparity between registered Democrats and registered Republicans.
Right.
But there's a big swath that's more than both. 2.7 million independents. Why can't wait? We got to go to break. We'll pick up this discussion after this interview. But here's the question I want to know. Why can't Republicans put together a message that will bring those independents over to our side?
Because the independents have left. They are voting more progressive. It's not voting, again, and I've made this argument before. I want the listeners to call in about it because I think, as I said earlier today, John, on a text thread, that running as a surrogate in the collar counties as a Republican, you are Donald Trump. Yeah, and we see every race is about Donald Trump.
Yeah, you became one of Trump kids.
I may as well been.
Greg, hold the line. Guys, you listen to The Black and Right. We'll be right back.
You feel the lightning, the
Alex Marlow does see a legit scandal.
I'm kind of amazed by this scandal that has rocked the Department of Homeland Security. Kristi Noem is out. I saw this. I was aware of it, but I have to admit, and this is a big admission, I did not do a deep dive on it. And I have in the last 24 hours, and it is shocking. It is a legitimate scandal.
The Alex Marlow Show. Afternoons at 3, right before Sean Thompson at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
News, I'm Jane Fergus. U.S. and Israeli forces are continuing to strike targets in Iran, including a nuclear facility.
In a brilliant bit of espionage by the U.S. and Israel, the computers at Natanz were infected with a worm that told the operators of the nuclear centrifuges everything was working fine while the centrifuges spun out of control until they broke.
It's Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv, Israel. The body of an Alabama student who went missing during spring break in Spain has been found. James Gracie was discovered in shallow water near the nightclub where he was last seen.
Investigators say initial signs point to an accidental death, but the cause and circumstances are unclear. Police have not ruled out the possibility he could have been under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
That's Fox's Stephanie Bennett reporting. America's listening to Fox News.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today! Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words switch today in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
Salem Surround. Is your business hard to find online? Meet with a digital marketer today for ideas that will make your business stand out. Visit salemsurround.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What's in the Hassleus having mattress right now?
Beg your pardon?
I can't sleep at night on that mattress. This is driving me crazy.
Whoa, you're talking way too low. It reminds me of the way too low prices on Sealy Posturepedic, Beautyrest, and more at Hassleus Mattress.
Are they really low?
You're probably asking, how low? Check out the Beauty Sleep by Beautyrest Queen Aspen Cove B Hybrid. Others sell it for $1,015, but Hassleus has it for just $846. Maybe you're inquiring about a free box spring with the purchase of any Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress for a limited time, or take an equal amount off an adjustable base. I assume you're asking whether Hassleus Mattress has employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery, setup and removal of your old mattress, and free financing.
Huh?
Yes, we do.
Holy cow!
See? People are talking about Hassleus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassleus.com.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews in Family Legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
I remember sitting in the kitchen, heartbroken, overwhelmed, staring at costs and a list of decisions. I prayed for strength and reached out to Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, only to hear that Mom had already pre-planned everything so my siblings and I would be protected. Because she planned ahead, we weren't pulled apart by heartbreaking decisions.
Visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org or call 708-236-5407 to schedule a free consultation.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio. AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM, and AM 1400 Detroit, Michigan. You know, I guys, if you can call back, we got a guest coming on. So if you can call back, I promise you guys will be the first in line as I take your calls. But I think every business listening right now should hear and listen to this next interview, because everybody's using AI in some form. You're either writing emails, you're reviewing contracts, you're brainstorming strategy, you may be even preparing documents for your attorney. And, you know, it feels efficient, it's smart, harmless. But a federal court just sent a very different message. In a recent case, a defendant used AI to help prepare legal strategy, then handed those material to his attorney, assuming they were protected under attorney-client privilege. What did the court rule? Well, we talked to Tracy Birkenhauser from FLAC. FLAC is a cybersecurity organization based out of the Detroit, Michigan area. And I'm telling you, Tracy is a wonderful individual. I got an opportunity to hang out with her, with Scott Jennings. Tracy, welcome to Black and Right Radio.
Well, hello, John Anthony. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, I literally brought in an attorney to come in and have this conversation, because you know me, I like to be prepared. So I'm going to hand it off to Dennis Rebelletti, Esquire. But before I do that.
Thank you, John.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Tracy, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
I'm great. Yeah, thank you.
So John sent me a text today that you were coming on and said, here is what I want you to take the lead on. And I'm looking at this federal case, and my jaw is dropping because I do criminal defense work, and it shocks the conscience that if I have a client who is doing some of their own prep work and then sends it to me, and the federal government uses a grand jury subpoena to get the information, am I correct in saying that the court said that that the U.S. government, the U.S. Attorney's Office, could get it because of AI?
Well, I am going to sound like the attorney here and say it depends.
There we go.
What is interesting about this case is there were a lot of specifics. The criminal was, criminals generally aren't the smartest people because,
alleged.
They got caught.
Alleged.
The alleged. Thank you. You are an attorney. Thank you. Yes. So the alleged criminal, Bradley Hepner, he allegedly embezzled, misappropriated $150 million. That's not nothing, right? And he used the free version of Claude. He didn't even spring for the $50 a month that I pay for my staff and I to use what they call the enterprise version. So the consumer version is what they call that. The consumer version is what everyone tends to use. It's the free version. And he was consulting this. He was treating it like a consultant.
Tracy, can I just stop you right there? So can you explain to the audience what Claude is? Because I know what it is, but I don't think the audience knows what that is.
Oh, absolutely. And your audience may have heard of Anthropic. That's been mentioned a little bit more frequently, but it is a very popular AI tool. And I personally like it and use it nearly every day in my work at Stack Cybersecurity, our Livonia company, and our staff uses it as well. So Claude, it's a generative AI, meaning that I can put prompts into it. I can ask it to do something. And then, as we say in the tech world, it automatically just spits something out, right? Like I can even have it write blog posts for me. I can have it make images. I can have it, work on updating some PowerPoints for me. It's very powerful. And also our website is .php. We actually hand code our website. It is a whiz at HTML and PHP and all of these other languages. It is very powerful. But the thing is, it is not Microsoft Word, right? It actually returns information to you. You prompt it, you ask it questions, and it returns information that it has gleaned or learned or been trained on scraping the internet. How
did the U.S. Attorney's Office find out that this defendant was using regular AI, whatever generic version it was, that and then was able to find out information regarding the case?
I'm not absolutely certain how they found out it was the free version. I do know that they raided his mansion and they got his computers. And so, of course, his attorney said this information was privileged because he was having these privileged private conversations with an AI chatbot with Claude. And I don't know how exactly they figured all of this out, but they did eventually determine that it was the free version. If it had been the paid version, maybe there would have been a different outcome. But the other extenuating circumstances, he did this without his attorney asking him to do it. That is the other thing that is important here. That's why this case is so very specific.
Tracy, hold that thought. We are going to go to a hard break. We've got to pay some bills and hit some commercials here. So we'll be right back with John Anthony, and Tracy will be back on talking about AI.
In his new movie, The Dragon's Prophecy, Dinesh D'Souza brings the new Middle East into focus with a message of perseverance, faith, and a shared global destiny.
Could the fate of the world, of humanity itself, be somehow tied to this place?
At long last, we have peace in the Middle East.
Israel and Christians are coming together in a way they have never been before, since the book of Acts.
But is this the end of Hamas and radical Islam? What does the Bible say?
We have to become fighters in the spirit for God. We don't accept what the enemy wants to do with our culture. We don't accept what he wants to do with the nation. If we keep fighting, we win.
Powerful, prophetic, a must-see movie based on Jonathan Cahn's international bestseller, The Dragon's Prophecy, combines history and scripture with faith, justice, and renewal. The Dragon's Prophecy, a new film by Dinesh D'Souza, now available on Amazon, YouTube, and iTunes.
Business and marketing specialist wanted in Mount Prospect, Illinois, to research trucking and freight forwarding market conditions, develop and implement digital and traditional marketing campaigns, collect and evaluate customer feedback, collaborate with dispatch and operations teams, a master's degree in integrated marketing or business administration, and 1 year full-time experience in the job or marketing management is required. Monday to Friday, 40 hours per week. Mail resumes to Bapa Manabekov, Sky Free Incorporated, 1699 Wall Street, Suite 365, Mount Prospect, Illinois, 60056.
Did you know most remodeling mishaps start before construction even begins? Here's something else you should know. At Forever Remodeling, we do things differently. Every kitchen, bathroom, and basement project starts with smart planning, detailed 3D designs, a clear scope of work, and accurate pricing, all sorted out before you get started. No surprises, no stress, just beautiful results. Done right the first time. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, EVER, remodeling.com. And schedule your free in-home consultation today.
Whether it's because of discomfort, lack of mobility, lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively for way too many hours a day. It's terrible for your health. It's time to add some extra steps to your day. Introducing Ellipse One, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases your mobility, and boosts circulation without physical impact. It's the easiest exercise you'll ever do. Perfect for home therapy. Whisper quiet to use while you work. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse One, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Get the faster motor for 6 miles worth of steps per hour, the step counter, the non-slip sport mat, and the wireless remote. Call 1-800-757-7030. That's 1-800-757-7030 or visit us at ellipse-1.com now. FSA, HSA eligible. Order today.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right Radio with John Anthony. I am your co-host, Dennis the Prosecutor Rebelletti. Thank you, John, for allowing me to hear one of my favorite shows.
You're welcome.
Theme music. We're speaking with Tracy about cybersecurity and AI. And you were telling us about a search warrant being executed at this defendant's home. And eventually the federal government takes this defendant's computer, and then it goes to, obviously, the attorney's going to go to federal court and say, hey, this is privileged information. But because this was generic AI, and it wasn't any type of paid-for service, the federal court said, that's too bad. It's just out there in the ethos. It's stored in some mainframe somewhere in Aurora, Illinois, and that's okay, or what? How did that happen?
Yes, they said that no reasonable person would think that this was private. The same as my argument is, would a reasonable person think that their chat history or their search history with Google is private? Well, no. You would know that is I mean, we've seen enough cases where people have their Google searches, show up in court. So this is the same thing, because it's even in their privacy policies. It's everywhere that, everyone agrees to these things without reading them. Well, maybe you should, because he should not have expected these conversations to be private because of the way that these products are shared with the public. Because they are free, the user is the product.
That's exactly what I was going. So Google is a free service, but with GPT Pro or Claude Pro, whatever they're called, those are not subject to the same standards. Is that what we're saying here?
Yes, absolutely. And that is why you should never, ever use the free version. And you can get the enterprise version is what it's called. Get the enterprise version of it and check the privacy settings. Protect yourself.
Yeah. Tracy, first of all, how's Rich doing? How's he? Is everything going well?
Oh, he's fantastic. He's pulling apart his snowmobile trailer and heading up to the UP to catch some of that snow. He didn't get enough on the several trips out to Wyoming.
Okay.
So, yes, he's very happy.
Next year, I'm coming to the UP with you guys. I've never been to the UP. I've never been to the UP.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's
never.
Amazing.
So, Tracy,
amazing.
What is the biggest mistake not only leaders, but business owners are making right now as it comes to this, as they're implementing and adopting AI? And how could Stack help these business leaders prepare better, make what they're using safer for them?
Well, the number one concern that I have, and I have so many with AI, it is shadow AI. You may have heard of the term shadow IT.
Yes.
That is when people bring devices into a corporation that nobody knows about and they start using them. Well, shadow AI, the same thing. We talk to business owners and business leaders, and they say, oh, well, our organization, we have sanctioned ChatGPT. That is another AI tool that a lot of companies use. So they say, we only use ChatGPT. Well, I can literally stroll around their office. I can see someone on their phone using Claude. I see someone else on their iPad using Grok. I see all of the things because that's what I do. I snoop. We're security, right? If we're like the digital cops, we go around and we find all of these things. And so then I go back to them and I'm like, are you sure? How would you know? Well, guess what? If you hired Stack Cybersecurity, you better believe you would know, because we would scan your whole network. We would interview your staff. We would find out what is going on here. And the thing is, you just have to ask people because they're so excited about AI. AI is the new internet, right?
Yeah.
This is something massive that is changing the way we live. Absolutely, without question. And so they get excited to talk about what they're doing. So they don't even know that it's wrong, that they're using these unsanctioned tools. They are doing this because they want to be more productive. They want to do their job better.
Tracy, I used the analogy with John during the break. We talked about when people have given their DNA to some of these groups because they want to learn about their heritage and their background. And then we find out that the federal government and state governments can have access to these databases. Is this something in that vein where I'm just sharing my DNA? Because John did that to find out his heritage, but he did it before there was any protections. And now he may not have done it. I'm assuming he probably wouldn't have or done it in some other way. But is this really where we're at right now? And we have to be much more careful of what we're putting out there on free AI? Like Copilot or whatever?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We all need to take a breath, right? This is so very powerful. And I'll say it again. This is not a regular tool. This is not just something that showed up in your Office 365 like Excel or Word, although it does show up. You mentioned Copilot. These tools are hidden and baked in to nearly everything now. They are everywhere. I dare say they are ubiquitous. And I just love that word. It's so fun. But they are everywhere. And that is why, I mean, like, talk about breaking news, right? Just yesterday, President Trump, we now have a national policy framework for artificial intelligence. He is saying, hey, states, and do you note that the states last year alone proposed over 1,200 AI laws.
Wow. Hey, Tracy, we got to go. We got one more break. That's the one thing about it. This is different than Detroit, where I didn't have as many breaks in between. But when we come back, I want to talk about can people who are here in Chicago and the surrounding states that listen to this show, can they use Stack? Can they hire you? We'll be right back.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
You need a construction company, but who?
Call Crosscom.
A construction company you can trust that shares your Christian and conservative values. For decades, Crosscom has been doing work in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin. Roofs, siding, windows, doors, gutters, basically everything for your home or business, even solar. Quality work and professional services that make you feel great about your decision to work with Crosscom.
Call Crosscom.
630-871-5500. Give them a chance to earn your business. If your repairs are due to storm, fire, or flood damage, you need to
call Crosscom.
They're licensed public adjusters. They work for you, not the insurance company. Crosscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout. They know the insurance companies and how to deal with them. They win for you.
Call Crosscom.
Crosscom Construction and Public Adjusters.
This is Dan Lights with Crosscom. You can trust us with your home or business for high-quality work and fair prices. It's the only way we do business.
630-871-5500. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM and AM 1400 Detroit, Michigan. Tracy, I'm glad you're on because I heard you on the real story with Jeannie Eyes and Amy Jacobson. I think it was last week that you were on there, and it got me to thinking. Stack, you guys are based in Livonia, Michigan, But do you guys because I know that there are a lot of business owners who listen to the show, and a lot of people just simply don't understand and know the complexities as it relates to AI and integrating it into their daily business life. Are you guys able to just not operate or function out of Livonia, but you'll take on clients from Chicago, Iowa, Indiana, things of that nature?
Absolutely. And we were just in Chicago. We go there a lot. We really like the city. Also, we have some data center space there. So we are in Chicago all the time. We are actually opening an office in the heart of Detroit as well, because we want to get more business in actual Detroit proper. But we even have staff all over the place. We absolutely can service anyone throughout the United States, and we're very, very happy to.
You want?
So Tracy, what do you suggest that businesses do then? Would they hire you and you would do an analysis of their systems, find out if there's a shadow AI? How would you, what would you do for like a law practice? Like if I contacted you from my firm and said, Tracy, I'm concerned now that I am using AI for clients, and I could tell you all the stories I hear and see on where people now, AI makes up cases for them.
It sounds like you. It sounds like you might have good new business, Tracy.
You never know.
And attorneys are some of our very best clients because they are professional services the same as we are. We understand each other. And absolutely. And I'm curious because so many attorneys, they said that over 1,000 law firms after this ruling in the Southern District of New York, they all issued emails they sent out to their clients warning them about this new case because this was just so significant. It is the first case of its kind regarding AI. And so this is very significant, and absolutely we could go in, we can tell everything that's on your network. It is amazing the things that we can find. And we also find some things that people do, frankly, find upsetting. We've had to stop telling CEOs all of the things that we find because these very good Christian people start using words they don't normally use, and they're very loud. Like when we show them their social security number on the dark web and their routing number and their bank account numbers and all these things. And they're like, wait a minute, that's all locked down. We're like, well, then how did we find it? Yeah. Someone else can find it as well. And so we figure out all of the things that are going on, and then we lock them down. The other thing is you can simply, like right now, you can go to our website. It's so simple. Just type in stack, STACK, cyber.com, stackcyber.com. We have an AI hub. We have a lot of useful information. I am a recovering journalist, so I love putting information out there and educating the public because we even have a policy, an AI usage policy for free. You can just customize it, use it. It's my gift to you. We also have the Artificial Intelligence Readiness Evaluation, AIR, because so many organizations are not ready. They just want to jump in first, feet first and say, yes, AI, this is so exciting. Right. But they don't even know what they're getting into. Wow. And that's terrifying. So
Tracy Birkenhauer, I'm saying that right? Please tell me.
Birkenhauer.
Birkenhauer, yeah. I said it right. We got to leave it there. We got to run. The first hour is completely over. I know you'll be in on next week as well. I don't know if it's going to be you or Rich, but next time you're in Chicago, let me know.
Oh, I absolutely will. Absolutely. Right. Well, I did have lunch with some Salem colleagues. So, yeah, absolutely. Next time it'll be me and you.
All right. Tracy Birkenhauer, co-owner of Stack. Thanks so much for joining us on Black and White Radio.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.
She's unafraid and unapologetic. She's Laura Trump, and she's shaking things up on the Right View podcast.
We're the side with the mean stuff? Are you guys kidding? You call us Nazis. You call us fascists. You call Donald Trump Hitler from the left. Really? We're the side that's the problem. You're out assaulting ICE agents every chance you possibly get.
Subscribe to the Right View podcast with Laura Trump on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
Salem Surround. Is your business hard to find online? Meet with a digital marketer today for ideas that will make your business stand out. Visit salemsurround.com.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer Chicago.
A targeted hit in Iran. I'm Jane Fergus, Fox News. U.S. and Israeli forces are continuing to strike targets in Iran, including a nuclear facility. Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv, Israel, with the latest.
U.S. strikes hit the Natanz nuclear facility in Iran. That's the primary facility for enrichment of uranium. That's also the facility that was the target of that Stuxnet cyber attack. And a brilliant bit of espionage by the U.S. and Israel. The computers at Natanz were infected with a worm that told the operators of the nuclear centrifuges everything was working fine while the centrifuges spun out of control until they broke. Now, following the strikes at Natanz, the IAEA posted there is no increase in off-site radiation levels, so no word on nuclear fallout from the strike. And Israel continues to take rocket fire in the north. We've got reports of some 5 injuries from a Hezbollah rocket.
This comes as the United Arab Emirates claim it dismantled an Iran-linked terrorist cell and arrested its members. The partial government shutdown continues with the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees TSA, still without full funding, causing long airport lines. Senate Majority Leader John Thune blames Democrats for the standoff, saying they will eventually have to take yes for an answer.
I know they think this is politically good for them. It's not. It's not politically good for anybody to have literally tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people out of work and important functions of our government not being carried out on a daily basis.
Democrats say they are blocking the DHS funding measure due to policy disputes over immigration and border security. Robert Mueller, the former FBI director and special counsel who investigated Russia-Trump campaign ties, has died at the age of 81. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Tonight will be mainly clear with a low of 42. Sunday will bring mostly cloudy skies, windy conditions, and cooler temperatures with a chance of showers in some areas. Expect a high of 48. Sunday night will be breezy in the evening, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low of 29. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Children's Land at Palatine Incorporated seeks facilities project manager in Palatine, Illinois. Manage technical operations, preventative maintenance, and regulatory compliance for multi-site preschool facilities. Oversee heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and life safety systems. Manage vendors and capital projects. Review plans. Ensure building and safety code compliance. Requirements are a master's or foreign equivalent in materials science, mechanical, or industrial engineering, facilities management, or related field, plus 2 years experience managing multi-site maintenance programs and contractor operations. Salary is $132,142 per year. Travel 20 to 30% within the same metropolitan statistical area. Full-time, send resumes to HR Department, 1293 North Rand Road, Palatine, Illinois, 60074.
In his new movie, The Dragon's Prophecy, Dinesh D'Souza brings the new Middle East into focus with a message of perseverance, faith, and a shared global destiny.
Could the fate of the world, of humanity itself, be somehow tied to this place?
At long last, we have peace in the Middle East.
Israel and Christians are coming together in a way they have never been before, since the book of Acts.
But is this the end of Hamas and radical Islam? What does the Bible say?
We have to become fighters in the spirit for God. We don't accept what the enemy wants to do with our culture. We don't accept what he wants to do with the nation. If we keep fighting, we win.
Powerful, prophetic, a must-see movie based on Jonathan Cahn's international bestseller, The Dragon's Prophecy, combines history and scripture with faith, justice, and renewal. The Dragon's Prophecy, a new film by Dinesh D'Souza, now available on Amazon, YouTube, and iTunes.
If you'd like a smartphone that's really smart, download the OnePlace.com app, the app that will inspire your faith daily and provide answers to the biggest questions of all. OnePlace lets you download your favorite pastor's programs and listen, even offline or in airplane mode, with easy connections to your Bluetooth speaker or dashboard. To download your free OnePlace app, visit the iTunes App Store or the Google Play Store for your Android device and search for OnePlace. That's OnePlace.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Black and White Radio on AM 560 The Answer, 92.7 FM, and AM 1400 Detroit, Michigan. Dirty D, baby, as my cousin would say, who's from the Dirty D. If you missed that first hour, head over to 560theanswer.com. Download the podcast. You can listen to the show no matter where you are. Dennis, do you still listen to the podcast?
I do. When I travel, I listen to it quite a bit.
Yeah, okay. I'm just watching you, brother. I'm watching
well,
you.
I do.
Okay.
And, you know, when you're spending a lot of time driving, if I'm heading down to Myrtle Beach, my wife will be listening to whatever she's listening to, and then I'll just have my headphones on, earphones on. And I'm listening to you. I'm listening to The Morning Answer. I'm listening to Amy. So it helps make the drive go a little faster.
Yeah, it really does. Let's go back to the phone lines. Craig, I'm sorry. Thanks so much for calling back, brother. Craig, did you know a lot of that about AI and be careful of using all of these free AI sources?
Absolutely not. You talk about a valuable. I'll tell you what, it goes to show you your show and when some of these topics. That is invaluable to realize that, and then realize how even deeper it would go into even other things with, where you get these services where you don't pay for them, but they just give you service online for free.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on with things that we all are doing and opening ourselves up to all kinds of risks.
And Dennis is always in the fine print in it. We just don't read it.
It is, and that's the scary part. And what I never really paid attention to in my law practice, malpractice insurance, I pay extra for cybersecurity, and I'm thinking, we're supposed to take precautions, but now I have to even go back and relook at it because I don't want to be using anything that could compromise a client.
It sounds like you need Stack.
It sounds like it.
You need to call Stack. And
see what happens.
Craig, you probably do too. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, well, hey, that guest you had, that was super insightful, John. That was a good service announcement there to let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got a question about something that's really it bothered me once before. So I'm a senior citizen, man. I've been on the planet for 7 decades. So I got arthritis and stuff like that in my hands and all that stuff like that. And one of the first times when I realized that things are so unfair is I wanted to have a pistol grip on a rifle just so I could hold it better and easier and control better. And it's just something, no big deal. And plus, there's all these things that Pritzker did for law-abiding citizens in Illinois. We can't have magazines that hold us. There's all kinds of things we can't buy. We can't have, we have to keep, reloading magazines if we have somebody that's,
who comes in with an AR-15 on us or something? Who comes in with, you mean the bad guy who may come in with a machine gun? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The bad guy's going to be loaded to the hilt, have everything he wants, and we're going to be there with like a revolver or something like that, or a bolt action. I mean, that's what Pritzker wants. Anyways, but here's the thing that really caught my attention, and I want to see what you and Dennis think about this. So a police officer when they're on duty, there's certain things they can open carry. They can have that weapon out and all that. Now, if they're qualified on rifle, they can carry a rifle also. You would know about this, John, because you're a police officer, ex-police officer. So, but you can't like just carry a rifle at will in the police department unless you qualify for a rifle and all that. And okay, and then and also speed, like everything, like speed limit and all that. Police officer can violate that when they're doing things in their
if they can articulate it, yeah.
Okay, so now I laid all that as a background to what is so bizarre. Well, I think I know why Pritzker did it. Initially, that applied to all Illinois citizens, all whether you're law-abiding or not, it didn't matter. All this ban, assault weapon ban, and the magazines, and all of this stuff. But very soon after that, what he did was he made an exemption to if you actually were law enforcement, but
that's because it's a federal
outside of your duty. So in other words, so it'd be like saying that if you're a police officer, you can speed anytime you want. If you're a police officer, you can when you're off duty, you can speed.
No, you can't.
If you're a police officer, no, I'm saying this is my example. So it would be like saying that, like, well, when you're a police officer, when you're off duty, you can open carry, you can do this. But here's what: none of that's true. But guess what is true?
What's that?
Any law enforcement people in Illinois can basically they're all exempt from everything. Magazine ban, assault rifles. They can buy, sell, own, shoot. They can do whatever they want when they're off duty. Now, I believe.
Well, wait, Craig. Do you understand why though? Right? And this goes back to Clinton, right? Didn't this goes all the way back to what? It's Leos. What is it called? What's the acronym, Dennis? There's an acronym for it.
Yeah, I'll have to think. About
Leosa, something like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
Is the reason because Pritzker wanted to be able to have the law enforcement back him up? So, like going after a law-abiding citizen, not me. Like, say I have a pistol grip on my on a rifle or something like that. Man, they can come down hard on me and come after me, and Pritzker wants the police to come after me. I mean, I've got all kinds of, my family members are all in the police department, and my daughter's a police officer. I mean, she can have all this stuff, and we go to the gun range, and that she's got all this stuff. I can't own anything. I'm 70 years old, and I'm a law-abiding citizen, and my daughter, she's got all this stuff. It's like, she's not on duty. Nobody's on duty. But what is? I thought it was because he's bribing them so that they will come after me, and they'll stick with him and come after me because they can do it. What is the reason? That's my question, you guys.
I think it's because, one, you're a sworn peace officer.
Correct.
So because you're a sworn peace officer, you're a sworn peace officer 24/7. So that's why back in the day, a lot of people wanted to be deputy coroners in DuPage County because they're sworn peace officers. They could conceal carry.
Yeah.
They could do things. Police officers can do things that the average citizen with a concealed carry permit or with a FOID card cannot do. And I think what Pritzker and probably the General Assembly were trying to do was correct things so that a police officer couldn't be arrested or couldn't be found in some kind of violation. We used to deal with that all the time, John, when I was a prosecutor in Will County with all the correctional officers and the carrying weapons. And if they were carrying when they weren't on duty and didn't have their gun secured in a box. Remember all those?
I tried to pass the bill for him too. After you left, I took up that bill, and it wouldn't move. What's that? Local 263.
I can't
Lodge
remember.
Lodge 263.
Yes,
they were the ones behind it. But as it thanks, Greg. Appreciate the call, man. But as it relates,
thank you, John.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
But as it relates to cops, like cops can't they're still not exempt from certain things. I can't go into a zoo with my loaded gun. I've done that. I when I was a law enforcement officer, I went to the zoo. I had to lock my gun up. Did you know that they had like this place where if you were off duty, you can go lock your gun up?
Yeah, it's no different than when you go in the courthouse now.
Yeah.
If you go into DuPage County Courthouse, you'll see all the police officers coming in, locking up their weapons. They
in the courthouse?
Yeah. You get a lot of times they'll make you lock it up in the courthouse.
Kendall County, we could still carry in the courthouse.
Well, it depends too, because when you're coming through what if you're undercover? What if you're so. You see people lock up their weapons all the time.
Yeah.
But just because you're a police officer doesn't mean you're exempt from everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, are you on duty or you're not on duty? And I think that's why being a sworn peace officer makes it different, because nobody ever knows. You might be called out, right? Even though you're on vacation or you're not on duty, and all of a sudden you're on duty.
Right.
And you may witness something. Now, you weren't working, but now you're jumping into something.
Unless it's something with ICE, you can't intervene because you're assisting. You know, you and I have had that conversation that I think assisting ICE needs to be defined. Because if I see a crime being committed in front of me and I'm a Chicago police officer, if I'm on that department, I'm intervening. If I see an individual attacking ICE, that person is going to jail and I'm putting the cuffs on them.
Right. Shouldn't all of our law enforcement be working together at every level?
Should.
You've worked multi-jurisdictional investigations. I have. Yeah. And nobody ever wondered what your political partisanship was. No. You were all working towards a positive end, and you wanted good relationships because God only knows when you need to make a phone call to talk to the federal government about help, or vice versa, because they would talk to us in Will County, because if you're doing gang investigations, the feds are coming in. Remember, we've talked about operations on the Hill. Yeah. And unincorporated Lockport.
Yeah. On the Hill.
Were, that's right.
People don't know the Hill, man. If we have time, let's talk about the Hill. Man.
We will. But
one way in?
But that's right. Well, you're bringing me back, John. But I'm just saying, you need all this multi-jurisdictional cooperation because I want everybody pulling in the same direction. Yeah. And we don't. Now we have local law enforcement. Look up in Minneapolis and Minnesota when those police chiefs were like, oh, I don't really care. I'm against ICE. Yeah. We'll arrest ICE. Yeah. Look at the mayor in Chicago wanted the state's attorney to investigate ICE. Yeah. Really?
Well, state's attorney said, well, she wasn't clear on that for me. Clear enough, Dennis.
Right. She just passed the ball on and said, we'll take a look at it.
Guys, give us a call, 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. Guys, hold the line. We'll take your calls when we get back.
Scott Jennings wonders if we'll see support.
Iran has fired ballistic missiles into a German military base in Jordan. So Iran continues to fire at its neighbors. You know, something I've been wondering, are we having any expectation that other countries are going to eventually get fed up with this and join in the military attacks against Iran?
The Scott Jennings Show. Weekdays at noon, right before Hugh Hewitt at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Making the switch to a new communications and IT company may seem like a big ordeal, but if you're not getting the reliable support, consistent internet, and secure solutions your company needs, meet Access One, your local Chicagoland IT experts. Access One has been powering Chicago businesses with secure, reliable IT solutions for over 30 years from our headquarters right here in the West Loop. Whether it's VoIP phones, dedicated internet, managed cybersecurity, cloud backups, or 24/7 support, Access One is here for you. Serving thousands of companies from Naperville to the North Shore, Access One is Chicago-owned and Chicago-run, a trusted IT partner for law firms, clinics, tech startups to manufacturers. We'll make the switch easier than you think. Let's talk. Call 800-804-8333 or visit accessoneInc.com. Rated top 5% in customer satisfaction and a Better Business Bureau A+ rated business. That's accessoneInc.com. Tech made personal locally.
Hello, can I have your attention, please? My name is Hugh McKenzie, and I'm a devout listener of The Answer. They have partnered with Food for the Poor consistently for the last few years. In the past, I've always wanted to participate, but unfortunately never had the extra cash at the end of the year to do so. But last weekend, I received the mail, and there was a bonus check for $2,500 from Mack Truck for selling commercial vehicles. I decided that I was all in. As I mentioned, I sell commercial vehicles. Everything from Mack, Volvo, Hino, Isuzu, new and used. I've been selling for over 30 years in the Chicagoland market. Call me at 630-918-9534 or check me out on the web. Google my name, Hugh McKenzie, and Hugh is spelled H-U-G-H, McKenzie is spelled M-C-K-E-N-T-Y. All right, thank you very much for your time.
To contact Hugh McKenzie, search Hugh McKenzie on LinkedIn or call 630-918-9534. That's 630-918-9534.
Oh!
If you're over 65 and struggling with knee pain, Joint Relief Institute offers a guaranteed way to treat it. It's non-surgical and often covered by Medicare and private insurance. It's JRI's joint arthritis treatment, knee lubrication placement that's so accurate it's 100% guaranteed and can relieve your knee and shoulder pain in 10 minutes or less. Book your risk-free consultation today and get back to walking, golfing, pickleball to cycling without pain or medication. Call 708-315-6800. Meet the provider, get an x-ray and joint consultation. Why wait? JRI has treated over 30,000 Chicagoans and performed over 400,000 procedures. You could be next. Over 5,000 5-star Google reviews can't be wrong.
Stop living in pain. Call the Joint Relief Institute today, 708-315-6800, or visit jointreliefinstitute.com. Locations in Glenview, Oak Brook, and Orland Park. That's 708-315-6800 for the Joint Relief Institute. Medicare and most private insurance plans accepted.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. And Dennis, it was the Patriot Act signed by George W. Bush, LEOSA. I was right about the acronym, Law Enforcement Officer Safety Act, 18 U.S.C. 926B and 926C. And then 926B is for active and 926C is for retired or separated officer provisions. That's what gave them the power to do that because they wanted, 9/11 had just happened. They wanted individuals to be who were in places who have police experience, who understand how to detain people and things of that nature, in case other the active law enforcement couldn't be there, correct?
That's right. So you wanted people who are licensed to carry, who are familiar with gun safety and using it in difficult circumstances, who have all that training and knowledge and wisdom to be able to carry. And so the Patriot Act made it a lot easier. And that's when a lot of those guys were also hired back. And there was changes to allow people to go past retirement because now we have look, you have to go back now 22 years and think about where we were at then versus where we are at now as to why you would want that. So the world's a lot different, but it still makes sense to have during any type of terrorist threats or something like we have today with Iran. We just never know. Yeah,
and Clinton made it easier for military MPs to make the natural transition into civilian police because my FTO when I came to Kendall County, he was a former military police, and he would always tell me about that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Mitchell, displaying.
Hey, John and Dennis. Kenneth Island, 1979. You get it every time. Here's the thing. First of all, I want to issue a retraction. Last time I spoke to both of you, I was talking about the O.J. Simpson trial, and I told you that Skip, the police officer, was part of the jury. I want to make a change. He was part of the trial. So I stand corrected. And that's how you're supposed to do it.
Okay, don't get me beat up again about this OJ from Dennis.
Here we go.
Why are you bringing this up?
No, because I want to issue. I misspoke, and I wanted to get it right. That's why I wanted.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
That's right. And so the cops definitely saw the inside of what happened. But I wanted to ask you both this. More importantly, the PPI report on inflation came out last week. It was hotter than expected. Okay, we've had 4 weeks of consistent sell-off on Wall Street. It's due to high raising or oil and, of course, energy prices. They don't seem to be coming down. The next PPI report is going to be sky high. If that happens, we will be lucky in 2026 if the Federal Reserve doesn't increase interest rates because inflation is too high. And I hope that Trump knows what he's doing, and he's too smart because he knows how the game is played. He's 5 steps ahead of everybody. However, he has to be cognizant that if he doesn't tame down inflation, we're in for a serious sell-off. I'm not talking about a short-term correction. What are your thoughts? What say you? So you go.
Thanks, Mitchell.
I think here, Mitchell, we have to see what happens when our new Federal Reserve folks are sworn in. Where are we at? And I saw, I don't know, it was on CNBC or Fox Business, that they looked like the feds were going to just hit pause for a year.
Yeah.
And then maybe the rates would go down in 2027. That's terrible for the economy. That's going to be terrible for business. and that's gonna be terrible for the midterm election. So
there's a lot of politics there too, though, Dennis.
But there's always politics everywhere, just like everybody else. Follow the money. But right now, when you have gas that's $4.39 a gallon in the suburbs, with
wait, no, time out. I thought presidents didn't affect gas prices, and that's what we were told.
Wars do.
When Biden, but is this pure Is this about the speculators?
Well, part of it's speculation.
Because we don't deal with Iranian oil.
Well, we also deal in a global economy that is impacted when a lot of our allies get their oil and natural gas through the Strait of Hormuz. And with Iran firing at everybody and striking at different strategic targets, not always military targets, that sends a lot of chill across the people in the stock market and trading futures. And so right now, gas is where it's at because who knows what's going to happen. So I know that Trump was letting go, I know it was 1,500 tankers that had millions of gallons of crude.
Well, guess what?
By the way, this just in. The U.S. is pausing sanctions on Iranian oil stranded on tankers at sea until April 19th to try to address soaring oil prices. So the political and economic reality of meeting these some of the objectives we have militarily.
Yeah, that's a pretty extraordinary move when you think about it. They want to just get more oil in the system and try to bring this price down because the administration has been arguing that this big price spike that we've seen, which is real, and people are paying a lot more for gasoline right now, they want to say that is a temporary blip that's going to go down soon. So they're pretty concerned about what's going on right now.
And there were, 100 million barrels of Iranian oil on this?
There's a lot, and a lot of it's going to allies, and a lot of it is going to Russia and China. And so as we still talk about them, those are two different countries that if they start feeling the squeeze, they have a much different way of dealing with it for their economy. And I think that's where people are more concerned if those actors become involved with Iran and its proxies.
Yeah, when we come back from the break, at the bottom of this hour, I want to play, it's a very lengthy clip. I believe it's from Promethean. It's this X account. And they talk about this whole chess move that's being played right now and how Trump is operating on three fronts right now. And I want to play the thing in its entirety, Dennis, because I really want to get your take on how they laid out what they think the chess moves that he's making, and if they make sense or anything. And we're going to get to this J.B. Pritzker thing, because you and I both we really do think people are underestimating him, and how you stated that you underestimated just how did you put it as it relates to Pritzker?
So I think people, myself, I'll speak for myself. I think the general electorate, especially the Republican electorate, have really underestimated the influence and the operation and the infrastructure that Governor Pritzker has laid out in the state of Illinois. And when you start to look at it, I'm going to see about making some comparisons, John, that would really show you where you might be in disbelief, or you'll avoid it, or say, yeah, he's run his course. But if I may, John, should I talk about that now?
Yeah. Well, let's take Rick, because Rick's been holding.
Okay, let's do
Rick
that.
from LaPorte, Indiana.
Yeah, you guys are talking about, one guy was talking about concealed carry and then open carry. The few times that I have open carried in like some sawdust restaurant or something, some old lady always calls the cops, and they come and check and make sure you got your permit and everything, I mean, it isn't like I'm sitting in Cafe Borgia, with my gun hanging out, and I just, so if you got that, if you got the option, conceal it.
No, we don't have it here in Illinois.
Oh, I'm sorry. And number two, well, I mean, it's control.
Yeah.
And number two, I would vote Republican if I was living in your state. The guy that they got running, Bailey, on his worst day, has got to be better than what you got now.
Well, every last one of the candidates that were running, in my opinion.
Well, I heard a guy in the morning, that Trump, he tell, I just can't, I can't vote for this guy. I just can't. Well, hey, but you complain about Pritzker. So even if you hate the Republican Party, vote Republican.
And I'm with you there, Rick. I'm definitely voting for the Republicans. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But Dennis, let's lay down the groundwork of where we want to go in this conversation, because we were talking about Juliana Stratton winning the Senate and how you were kind of taken aback because Raja has been building for this moment since he first ran for office.
Raja has had his eyes on the U.S. Senate seat for as long as he's been involved in politics and working in the Quinn administration, or was it Quinn, or he was at the Treasurer's office. He has been very calculated. Mm-hmm. He has raised more money than almost any other congressman. He had tens of millions of dollars. He was very well known in the 8th Congressional District, which the township was part of, and my office had communications with him. But I thought that Juliana Stratton and the Pritzker money and the Pritzker support started too late and would not be enough, and that Juliana Stratton would be an afterthought when Robin Kelly got into the race. 2 female black women would split that vote.
Yep.
And then I'm going to tell the listeners exactly who else I think Pritzker reminds me of. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Black and Right Radio. We will be right back. We have an hour and a half to go. Thank you.
Larry Elder explains the reason we're here.
The reason we're here is because we have an enemy that has been chanting death to America for 47 years. The enemy determined by their own admission to develop a nuke. They admitted they had enough to build 10 bombs. Is there any confidence that you have that had these people had a nuclear weapon, that they would not use it?
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 8, right before Sean Hannity at 10 on AM 560. The Answer.
Fox News, I'm Carmen Roberts. An Iranian airstrike hits near Israel's main research center for nuclear issues and injuring at least 40 people.
An Iranian missile made it through the Israeli air defenses and came down in the southern Israeli town of Dimona, sort of near the tip of the Dead Sea. No word that anything nuclear was hit.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller dies at 81. He transformed the FBI into a terrorism fighting force after the 9/11 attacks, which Fox's Chad Pergram says he's better known for.
Was that investigation into alleged Russian collusion into President Trump. He said that he did not find a Russian conspiracy. And he was pressed repeatedly whether or not he thought that the president had committed a crime. And he said he had no evidence of that.
President Trump reacted saying, words, good, I'm glad he's dead. America's listening to Fox News.
Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, launching a new project, or just looking for that extra edge, your brain is your most valuable asset. Now there's a way to support it every single day, Think Factor. From the makers of Relief Factor, Think Factor is built to help you stay sharp, nurture your memory, boost your attention. It unlocks the mental clarity and precision you need to stay ahead of the game, no matter the challenge. After a couple of weeks of taking Think Factor, I noticed a dramatic difference in my clarity, my focus, even my memory. And look, the longer you take Think Factor, the better it works. This is not a one-off. You want to take Think Factor regularly. If you're a go-getter who refuses to settle, Think Factor can help you perform at your best and keep your edge. Call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800-4RELIEF, or just visit ReliefFactor.com to order Think Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Your first bottle is just $19.95. Think Factor. Think clearer, perform better daily with Think Factor.
Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank you for your great support this past year. They want to make 2026 the best year ever. So to thank you, they are giving you free shipping on your entire order and wholesale pricing. So they are bringing back the mega sale. For example, the classic MyPillows, regularly $49.98, now only $14.98. Turn any mattress into the best mattress ever with the made in the USA MyPillow My Mattress Topper and save up to $100. Get a set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the 6-pack towel set for only $34.98. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY or call 800-489-0201 and use promo code LIBERTY. These offers won't last long, so call 800-489-0201 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code LIBERTY. Order now and your entire order ships absolutely free.
Hey AM 560 listeners, Jeff checking in again from JeffBuysYourHouse.com. What I learned serving our great nation in the military is that every mission is unique and success starts with listening. For nearly 20 years, our veteran-led house buying team has taken the time to understand what matters most to each homeowner we serve. Every home has a story, and every seller has different needs. Whether you want a quick closing or need extra time to find your next place, we customize our approach around what works best for you. That's how we've earned hundreds of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the BBB, by putting relationships first. No repairs needed, no cleanout required, and you pick the closing date that works best for your schedule. At JeffBuysYourHouse.com, we're here to help you through the entire transition, not just the transaction. Are you ready to work with a local team that takes the time to understand your home selling needs? Sell your house to the trusted source by calling us today at 630-895-9530. That's 630-895-9530 or JeffBuysYourHouse.com.
In his new movie, The Dragon's Prophecy, Dinesh D'Souza brings the new Middle East into focus.
Could the fate of the world, of humanity itself, be somehow tied to this place?
At long last, we have peace in the Middle East.
Israel and Christians are coming together in a way they have never been before.
But is this the end of Hamas and radical Islam? The Dragon's Prophecy is powerful, prophetic, a must-see movie. Now available on Amazon, YouTube, and iTunes.
You need to be tuning into the Retirement Success Blueprint with Michael Stewart, the radio companion to the Amazon best-selling book, Success Blueprint, How to Build the Retirement You Deserve. Each week, Michael shares strategies designed to help reduce market risk through income-generating investments that can provide steady returns. Because if you can avoid a big loss, you don't need to take big risks. Catch the Retirement Success Blueprint with Michael Stewart, Saturday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Black and Right Radio. I am your co-host, Dennis Rebelletti. I think John is a little tired now. I think when I have to talk about the Democrat Senate primary win for Juliana Stratton, I think he wants to sit this one out. So one, as I look at your screen, John, and it says that Maurice says that everybody knew Juliana was going to win. Well, count me in the other side of that, where I didn't believe she was going to win. And Raja had $38 million. That's hard to come by in federal money and fundraising and all of the different ways that you have to raise that money. I underestimated the value of a Pritzker endorsement. I thought the Pritzker, the IEs that were set up to help Juliana came in too late. And we remember all the F Trump commercials. We remember her endorsement from the governor. And why does this all matter? Well, go back to the commercials. Now Pritzker had nobody running against him. And he had those commercials with him walking in his U of I orange running suit. And he's walking there. He's lost weight because that is for the audience in 2 years.
Yeah.
He is talking about how he can't wait to get out there and press the flesh and talk to the average Chicago resident. Right, John?
Yeah.
So as John and I were talking a little bit ago, we were talking about a person that nobody gave a chance to become president. That person, Donald J. Trump, took an escalator ride to which every person on this planet thought there was no chance in hell that he would win a primary, let alone win a general election times 2. I use the analogy, look at what Pritzker is doing and has now done.
Since he was elected.
since he was elected, he has been laying the groundwork nationally.
Mm-hmm.
He has been electing his candidates. Go look at Margaret Croak for comptroller.
Yeah.
She's a state rep, very young, worked in other elections for him. I think Obama maybe. And here she is. She wins. Karina Villa, who's from the West Chicago area, represents a good chunk of DuPage. She ran very well in DuPage, ran very well everywhere. She loses by 2 points.
Yeah.
Because the governor endorsed her. The machine came out for her. Please do not sleep on J.B. Pritzker, because J.B., those commercials, well, who was he connecting with, John, on those commercials?
Working class people.
Who did President Trump connect?
Working class people.
Working class people.
But he's nowhere near a person who has when you think about his policies, specifically his tax policies, Jed Davis said this, and I agree with Jed Davis.
Proceed. Thank you. Hey, I love to hear gas taxes mentioned, or the price of gas mentioned on the House floor, up for debate. And I would encourage the majority party to let's follow the lead of our esteemed colleagues in the great state of Georgia, and let's suspend the gas tax for a 60-day period to provide true relief for the great.
No, Dennis, it was J.B. Pritzker who does this tax every year that increases the gas tax. Is this in perpetuity?
This is in perpetuity unless it's repealed.
Every single year, the gas tax is raised.
That's correct.
This was J.B. Pritzker. How in the hell does somebody policies that affect you at such a local level, why would people continue to vote this ideology? Why would people continue to vote for these tax policies that's damaging to who they are?
They don't see it as damaging.
Why? Because we don't have an opposition party that can clearly articulate it, right?
Well, that's part of it. So let's go back to the Pritzker part. Pritzker has been inoculating himself. I thought that Pritzker would have been done when it came to all those executive orders and COVID. People forgave him for that.
Yes.
Everybody's, oh, no, you're doing the right thing, Governor. Thank you for keeping us safe. Like, he's keeping me safe in my house in Elmhurst. He's not.
No.
He didn't.
No.
He just went along with it, but he knew his audience. And
wait, say that again.
He knew his audience.
What can Republicans learn from that?
Know your audience.
I'll let you finish that, but
yes.
I want you to, after that, then talk about what can Republicans do and understand, because we've created these silos now, and where we can't reach each other as a party because, look, come after me all you want. I hear a lot of people saying we got to get rid of the rhinos. I understand that in thought, especially the people who are, you and I both know.
Who decides who the rhinos are, John?
Wait. We won't say the name, but somebody from your old operation who became a state rep, who was a part of your operation. So we know people who are Democrats that run as Republicans. I get that aspect, but the voters, people who actually vote, we need them, specifically in a state like Illinois, Dennis.
Right. Why are you, as a Republican candidate, going to antagonize people?
Dude,
if you want them to elect, is this clock going fast, John?
I think it's going fast. I think Paul is speeding up the clock. But let's have this conversation, guys. We have to have, and that's I see my buddy Kelvin is on the line. We have to have these hard, uncomfortable conversations in order to right this ship so that we can win. We'll be right back.
What are you doing?
I'm setting up the Art of Options sectional.
That's a popular pick at Penny Mustard.
But why is it so long?
I wanted to create the world's longest sectional that wraps around the entire showroom.
Well, the Art of Options is powered by a rechargeable battery, so it can literally go anywhere.
So what are you going to build next?
The world's longest coffee table.
The Art of Options reclining sectional starting at $92.65 at Penny Mustard.
6 Chicagoland showrooms.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Your beloved dog and a stranger are both drowning. You can only save one. Who do you save? Every time Dennis Prager asks that question, his audience splits 3 ways. 1/3 chooses the dog, 1/3 chooses the stranger, and 1/3 aren't sure. Why? Because we live in an age where increasingly feelings define right and wrong. But if morality is based on emotion, then murder, rape, and theft are just opinions. And if people feel justified, why is rioting or destruction wrong at all? In his new book, If There Is No God, Dennis Prager explains why civilizations cannot survive without objective morality and why Judeo-Christian values shape the moral foundations of the free world.
If you claim that certain things are good, certain things are evil, independent of how you feel about it, you are in effect affirming God.
If There Is No God by Dennis Prager, available now at pragerstore.com. That's pragerstore.com.
All right, Vito, you best be letting me in and having a look around.
Officer Murphy, hello. Yeah, this is Vito's Vault. We're definitely not a dinner theater speakeasy, where you can get dinner, drinks, and an amazing musical comedy show, plus free parking, all for one low price.
Oh, that's too bad. I was going to bring me dear sweet mother to see your show.
Well, why didn't you say so? Come on in.
Vito's Vault, Chicago's new Roaring 20s dinner theater speakeasy. For tickets, go to vitosvault.com.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your savings last? How much should you take out and when? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? I'm Edward Jones financial advisor, Nolan Webster. Let's work together to make sure your finances meet your unique needs over the long haul. You've done what it takes to get there. Now it's time to make the most of retirement. Call me at 224-801-6107 to schedule an appointment. That's 224-801-6107. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Get up! Welcome back to Black and Right Radio on AM 560 Chicago, 92.7 FM, and AM 1400 Detroit. Did you just kick over the hornet's nest, Dennis?
I knew this was going to happen, John, because people will not draw those comparisons, but don't sleep on it.
Yeah.
Both billionaires, both people have been around a long time, and they understand the game well enough to know.
And it's about marketing.
It's all about marketing.
And what you're saying is he's copying the way Trump became president.
That's correct. You start to layer that blueprint. Pritzker's a very smart man. Don't sleep on that.
Yeah.
Let's watch things for what they are, not for what we feel about the individual. Right. But we were also talking about know your audience. How can somebody cross over if they are hard right? And then have to run in a general election and have to win DuPage County, which is no longer, ladies and gentlemen from DuPage is not red.
It's blue.
It's not purple. I'm sorry to tell those people who are now living in the past, it's a blue county.
Yeah.
You have to win the collars. Good luck on that. If you're hardcore right, you're going to have to get to the middle, and that's the only way that you can thread the needle to ever win a statewide office.
Which is what Rauner did in 2018.
He did. He was shaking up Springfield. Very simple message. Springfield's broken. I'm going to shake it up. And I'm a businessman.
And let's not forget the lieutenant governor candidate that you and I both ran with. One of the would you say one of the smartest lieutenant governors we probably have ever had run?
Sheila Simon?
No, Christian. Oh, wow. Christian Mitchell, brother.
Well, Christian Mitchell, again, very intelligent individual.
Yeah.
Very hardworking.
Yeah.
And he didn't, Pritzker didn't just pluck him out of nowhere.
He built him up.
He built him up. He trusted him. He ran the Illinois Democratic Party.
Yeah.
He was a state rep. He's worked before he became this
deputy governor.
He's been deputy governor. He worked for University of Chicago, I believe, in some type of high-powered job.
Vice president.
Some type of vice president, external affairs, whatever. But he's building people around him.
Why aren't we doing that?
Because after Rauner took his bat and ball and left, he took everything else with him. Then Ken Griffin leaves.
Yeah.
And then all that money is gone. Then you can look to Pleasant Prairie for where the other money is with Mr. Uline to see if he's going to fund anything. Otherwise, there are no investors. It's Chicagoland versus downstate
invest
now.
In what, Dennis? What is there to invest in? And I'm not asking this as somebody who's being naive, but or trying to pick at people. But what is there to invest in the Illinois Republican Party?
Well, that's right. So you don't have a definite leader that you would say, and that's what happens when you lose a governor's office. You lose statewide offices. Yeah. You don't have a de facto leader. There are no de facto leaders that you could point to. You could talk about Leader Curran, who I know very well, Leader McCombie, and the House side. But John Curran's from the suburbs. He's from DuPage. So he still has the opportunity to get more media up this way. Tony McCombie is from out in Western Illinois, so she doesn't have that pull here.
Right.
Neither one of them can raise the money that Don Harmon or Chris Welch does, and they also don't have a billionaire backing them.
Correct. Maurice, please. America First is not losing. America First, the message is still winning across this country. The problem is we're speaking about Illinois. America First would win in Illinois if it was implemented, but it's not being fully implemented.
It should be Illinois first.
It should be Illinois first, correct.
Why isn't that the Republican message, John?
Okay, we can look at these phones, man.
My God, I'm sorry. I better leave now and let you deal with the phone lines.
Brian from Evansville, Indiana. Brian.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm gonna help you guys out with my 2 cents. Pritzker is enjoying the same thing that DeSantis is enjoying down there in Florida. You notice when DeSantis left Florida and ran for president, he wasn't all that popular, was he?
Yeah, no.
Because down there in Florida, what DeSantis is enjoying, he's enjoying a state that's drawing a lot of conservative refugees who's running from New York and other parts of the country. So he's powerful down there. Let's look at the other side of the window. You're talking about Pritzker. Pritzker is king in a blue state where he's enjoying it. Do you think Pritzker go sell in Texas and Georgia and Alabama and stuff once he runs for run president?
Not when the policies are exposed for some of the things that he's done here in the state of Illinois. I think that becomes Achilles.
See, in Illinois, who really won last Tuesday, and I done told you this before, was U-Haul. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, right.
That's who the clear winner is.
Yeah.
You got so many people, once they see Brandon Johnson and Pritzker, that's a U-Haul advertisement. They ain't going to wait to see who going to win. They go run.
That's true.
And you notice the last 3 elections where I thought he got cheated out of one, but that's not what we talking about. Donald Trump won with over 300 electoral votes. He didn't need California. He didn't need Illinois, New York, and he still won handily. So once Pritzker won for president of the United States and he got a campaign outside of Illinois, I say half the country he can write off.
Yeah, but here's the problem with Pritzker. He's got the money to shield some of the things that he's done. And you and I both know that happens.
He still
politics.
wins all the blue states if he gets that far. It's all about the swing states.
Though.
How's he going to do in the swing states? And we have to see where this war is at that time, what gas prices look like. What does the House and the Senate look like?
I still say the Democrats right now is suicide when they fighting ICE and telling me I don't need no ID and protect the illegal immigrants. That's not going to sell in a lot of parts of the country.
Those are great points, Brian. Thanks so much. We got to go to break. Guys, please, I'll stay on the line. Dennis, you done maxed the board out, bro. You listen to the Black and Right. Guys, I promise you we're going to get to your calls when we get back.
This is Sean Thompson. One of the things I remember about spring is listening to my grandfather walk around and say, opening day. It's just around the corner. He used to think those were the 2 sweetest words you could say during springtime because he was a big baseball fan. And for most people, that's the case. It's one of the greatest American traditions each spring. But you know, there's another great American tradition that isn't far off, and that's called Tax Day. Well, opening day and Tax Day show up around the same time each year. We don't look at them in the same way. Well, you're optimistic about your favorite team. When's the last time you felt optimistic about stroking a big check to Uncle Sam? It doesn't have to be that way, and all you have to do is call Tom Fortino, the people at Alpha Wealth Group, who believe that baseball is a seasonal game, but tax planning goes on year-round. So if you don't want to write a big check in your retirement, and you don't want to have your Social Security or Medicare premiums affected by it, call Tom Fortino and the people at Alpha Wealth Group for their complimentary retirement roadmap. Call them at 630-864-6711. That number again is 630-864-6711 or online at alphawealthgroup.com.
I remember sitting in the kitchen, heartbroken, overwhelmed, staring at costs and a list of decisions. I prayed for strength and reached out to Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, only to hear that Mom had already pre-planned everything so my siblings and I would be protected. Because she planned ahead, we weren't pulled apart by heartbreaking decisions.
Visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org or call 708-236-5407 to schedule a free consultation.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
What's happening right now?
Whoa, your low talking reminds me of way too low pricing at Hassleus Mattress.
Hello?
How low? Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $293. If you're inquiring about a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress, employee-free showrooms, and free next-day delivery, the answer is yes.
Holy cow!
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassleus.com.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Right Radio. This is Dennis Rebeletti, co-hosting with John Anthony. We were trying to fix the computer because it was blowing up from all the phone calls.
you kicked over a hornet's nest.
And John told me I had to maybe take a couple weeks off before I come back. But we were talking about is there a parallel between Pritzker and Trump? And please don't mistake the parallel from policy.
Correct.
But from how they built things that that's a packaging, a marketing strategy, a longer term vision. Because Trump didn't just start running for president when he did.
No.
He had been talking about it for decades.
30 some odd years.
So he was talking about it, he was testing things, and Pritzker is no different because that's where he would ultimately like to be. Does that mean he's going to be there? I have no idea, but we have a lot of people to talk to.
Calvin, what's up, Calvin? Calvin from Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah, real quick, I just got 2 points. So, Rebeletti, you speaking for the North, let me speak for the South.
Central.
First point.
You're Central, sir. I learned that in Springfield.
Okay, so here's the problem. You guys are the problem. DePage, Lake, Will, Kane, Cook. You're the problem. Okay, full stop. Now, Bailey won 88 counties. Pritzker won 12 and got governorship. We don't even want Bailey to even come down. He should spend his entire campaign up there with you guys. Now, the second point with Pritzker is that we can't judge this based on primaries. Everything I heard from Roger, Stratton, and Pritzker hate Trump. I'm not Trump. I'm proposing Trump. No policies. They're not talking about how to get boys out of girls' spots. I hear no policy provision.
Absolutely not.
Right. So my last point is speaking on behalf of us in Central and downstate. Oh, brother, we do have a choice, right? Since the state house is 40 Republicans and 78 Democrats. It's 19 Republicans in the Senate and 40 Democrats. So we will give this vote, support the Republicans. But guess what, brother? We can move. And we will. 400,000 people left Illinois since the last election. So do you think for 1 minute we're going to sit under the stupidity of Northern Illinois? We're not. So we're going to give the old schoolboy try. We're going to support the conservative values. And if we don't do it, we're simply going to move. Simple as that.
Well, your strategy's not working, my friend. That's how we lost. We lost a number of, you would call them a rhino. Those are suburban Cook County Republicans, suburban Democrats in DuPage and the Collars that are not as conservative of people that are south of I-80 or west of DeKalb or north of, even in Lake County used to be Republican. It has to do with Republicans leaving. We talked about this. John and I talked about it during the break. With COVID, a lot of people went to free states. My son went to Florida State, didn't want him in Illinois. And you're dealing with Chicago and Cook County residents moving into DuPage, into the collars, getting away from all the things that they hate about it, but then bring their values and don't convert over. So there's a number of factors. Yeah. But I sat in a caucus listening to downstate representatives tell me how I was not Republican enough, and that we had, at that time, John, 56 House members out of 120.
Tom Cross was the minority.
Tom Cross was minority leader.
Wait a minute. So if you support men and girls sports, the gender stuff, the mental stuff in the school, you're not conservative enough.
I don't support that. That's
no. He's saying if a person supports that,
right? But I'm not saying that that's what. I'm just telling you where things are today, and that unfortunately, downstate is sending a lot of messages up north, and the people up north, I don't know, are going to listen to them.
Kelvin, stay on the line. Kelvin, just stay. We got to go to break, guys. I promise you, we're trying to get through these calls. I promise you, stay on the line. You're right, Blakemore, as it relates to the Chicago voter. You're listening to Black and Right. I want to say goodbye to our Detroit, Michigan crowd. Love you guys. Thank you. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. If you're a business owner with unfiled tax returns, tax season is not your friend. This is when the IRS turns up the heat. They match 1099s. They review payroll filings. They compare bank deposits. And when returns are missing, they don't send you a warning. They take action. Penalties stack up fast. Liens become public. Bank levies can drain your account. I see it every year. Good business owners who waited too long, not because they're crooks, but because they were overwhelmed. Let me be clear, hiding makes it worse. Action makes it fixable. I help business owners get compliant, file what's missing, and negotiate from a position of strength, not fear. Don't wait for the next certified letter. Don't wait for a levy. Go to fightbacknow.com and sign up for my daily email. I'll tell you exactly what to do next, step by step. Or call me right now at 312-664-6649. Act now before the IRS acts first.
News, opinion, insight. This is AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago. Streaming at 560theanswer.com on the AM 560 mobile app, or tell your smart speaker to play The Answer Chicago.
Iran surprises the world with the range of its missiles. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Iran fired missiles at an island far off in the Indian Ocean, some 2,500 miles away, a distance Tehran once claimed was out of its missile range.
Very clear now that the Iranians had greater range with their missiles than they said they did because of this launch. Diego Garcia, some 2,500 miles out into the Indian Ocean. The U.S. and Great Britain operate a base there. Mabas Araghchi said that their range was limited to 2,000 kilometers. That translates to 1,250 miles. Now, it should be noted that the missiles never hit their mark. One of them failed in flight. One of them was taken out by an interceptor. But that kind of range puts most of Europe in striking distance.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. This comes as CENTCOM confirms U.S. forces have struck more than 8,000 targets during Operation Epic Fury. A different kind of chaos at U.S. airports. Fox's Madison Scarpino reports from Atlanta as TSA agents go without pay.
It's something that a lot of passengers would likely welcome, as we have been seeing painfully long TSA lines all across the country, including here at Hartsfield-Jackson. People waiting for well over an hour to finally get through TSA. Travelers packing the hallways of this airport, some arriving 3-4 hours before their flights. This is all happening as TSA workers are continuing to get $0 paychecks. Many are calling out sick, quitting, finding other jobs, as a lot of these workers can't even afford basic necessities. Travelers we've talked to are obviously frustrated, but they only blame the government.
And in Hawaii, danger as torrential rains cause flooding and push a dam close to failure. Governor Josh Green.
My chief of staff spoke to the White House today, and they are offering their assurance that we're going to have support. The same can be said of FEMA. They've been with us from the beginning, as they were with us in the fire and before. We have support, and we will come through this together.
America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
Tonight will be mainly clear with a low of 42. Sunday will bring mostly cloudy skies, windy conditions, and cooler temperatures with a chance of showers in some areas. Expect a high of 48. Sunday night will be breezy in the evening, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low of 29. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, doctors Economos, Gay Vallis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidiscipline practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930, 630-830-4930, or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
The following advertisement includes a celebrity impersonation.
The summer heat in Chicagoland is no joke. And if your old air conditioner is making funny noises, you may already know it's time for a new unit.
Look, your air conditioner, it's a disaster. People are telling me it's the worst ever.
Don't sweat it, literally. When it comes to cooling your home, Air Right Heating and Cooling does it the best.
And they love our country. Beautiful people.
Rebates are still available, financing is flexible, and at Air Right installations are smooth and professional with no surprises.
It's beautiful. Some people say it's the coolest air anyone's ever felt. I don't know. That's just what they're saying. It's doing an incredible job. Really tremendous.
Plus, tell them AM 560 sent you, and Air Right will give you $56 off any service. Visit Air Right Heating and Cooling today at AIR-RITE.com. Again, that's AIR-RITE.com. Air Right Heating and Cooling, doing it right since 1959.
Hey, it's Scott Tucker and my new co-host,
Amy Jacobson,
on AM 560. We wanted you to know that we have a special show every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. here on AM 560, The Answer. It is Retirement Dakota with Scott Tucker and
Amy Jacobson.
It's every Sunday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. 2-hour show, 2-hour radio extravaganza. Amy, we're going to tantalize the listening public and the listening private with all kinds of retirement planning information. So tune in at AM 560 Sunday mornings at 7 a.m.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
AM 560, The Answer. Prepare to have your mind opened. The lies of the mainstream media are about to be exposed, and the hypocrisy of the left is about to be revealed. This is a revolution in how you think about politics, race, and culture. You've tuned into Black and Right with John Anthony.
I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Welcome back. Hour 3 of Black and Right Radio on AM 560. Chicago. Detroit is gone. Detroit is gone. I can't sing, so I'm not going to try to sing. If you missed those first 2 hours, head over to 560answer.com. Download the podcast. Paul, I miss you. It just feels like every time you come back, it's like you've been gone for weeks, man. You don't love me anymore. Is that what it is, Paul? You don't want to be around me? I got this big old knot on my arm. You don't want to be close to me? I see how it is, Paul. But Paul was asking me what's the latest with the movie. I try not to talk too much about it because sometimes, like a thief in the night, you got to just be, you got to be like a ninja and just not talk too much about some of the moves you're making. But Paul, there's some stuff that's happening right now that those of you who are out there who are prayer warriors, just start praying because there's some things that if it happened, this movie will be made quicker than I thought. And I really do hope. Before we go back to Kelvin, because I know, Dennis, you and Kelvin have been fighting each other. Tom, you see Tom's comment?
I did.
He's taking a little shrapnel. I love Tom. But in reality, though, we are going to have this conversation, and it's going to be a tough conversation. It has to be. It's going to be an uncomfortable conversation because aren't you tired of losing? Well, I am sick and tired of having to sit under leadership that I disagree with because of the policy decisions that have been made. I mean, Bruce Rauner, he was no different. than what we see with J.B. Pritzker. Dennis, you and I both know we served under him.
Well, here we go. Who sent Darren Bailey the second time?
Uh-oh.
What counties sent Darren Bailey the second time? I know Sangamon County sent him a second time, and McLean and Christian County, and all of the southern counties, and the central Illinois counties, and the northwestern states. So, you know what? When I have to now listen to what DuPage has failed to do, and Cook County and the Collier counties tried to send who to the general election, John Anthony?
TD?
Ted Dabrowski.
Yeah.
Somebody who would be considered more mainstream, may have a pathway. Again, another uphill climb. But Southern Illinois and Central Illinois has sent Darren Bailey for a rematch. Am I mistaken?
No. No, that's what's happening right now.
So, again,
there was a portion of us waiting for an endorsement. I think a group came out with Dombrowski like one day before the primaries. So people voted. First of all, we did have, I'm only speaking from Sangamon County, out of 149,000 people, we only had 33,000 show up to the poll. So conservatives have a turnout issue in the first place. The second point I'm trying to make is, let me correct something you said. I don't sling out the term rhino. It's beneath me.
He doesn't.
I sling out facts. That's what I sling out because I know the data and I read the data. So the third thing I'm talking about, you got a perfect storm going here. I'm not trying to get into a fight with the northern part. I'm only explaining the perspective of downstate. Our options is not to fight with the north. It's to cast the ballot for the conservative. If we don't like what happens, 400,000 of us will vote with our feet. That's what's happening over the past 10 years. And I just love how conservatives talk like we're this bad, and you're getting mocked. You're getting mocked
Destroyed.
for the past 10 years.
Destroyed.
Nobody got an ego. Nobody should be bragging. We should all be coming to the table humble with fact-based information like we won something. We're getting smoked together.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. No vote unturned, man. That's how I feel at this moment.
It should be leave no vote behind.
Leave no vote behind.
And now people are making fun of Bailey because he's been hanging out in Chicago. And Kelvin, you're right. When Bill Brady lost, what happened to him?
98 counties.
The guy won 98 counties.
Yeah.
But guess what he didn't do?
Yeah.
Spend time in DuPage and the Collars and Chicago. We told him, stop going south of I-80. Please stay up here. And we should have won that we lost that. I think that also shows the downtrend.
Yeah. Let's go to Lewis from the South Side. Lewis, thanks so much for holding. I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you. Hey, there's no parallelism between Donald Trump and J.B. Pritzker. J.B. Pritzker is playing an old game. It's called chess. He has pieces on the board. Donald Trump, he's raw, he's street, and he's a gangster. And gangsters play poker. And Donald Trump is playing 7-card stud right now.
Yeah, but Louis, I don't think that's what Dennis is talking about. I think I do see a lot of mimicking of how President Trump put together the coalitions, how he's been running for president for many years. J.B. Pritzker was running for president before he ran for governor, in my opinion. I think that's what Dennis is talking about. I mean, I'll let Dennis speak for himself, but
no, that's really what I was talking about. And he wanted to be U.S. senator.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but you know what? J.B. Pritzker set this up, and the way he set it up. Do you know Representative Elizabeth Hernandez?
Yeah.
Yes.
From the 83rd.
Do you know what her position is?
Oh, yeah, we do. I know her personally.
She's a state rep, and she's the chair of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And
a central committeeman.
And do you know who used to have that position?
Are you talking about the Aurora Hernandez, right?
No, you're talking about Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Who used to have that spot?
Wait, hold on. Who are you talking about?
Representative Elizabeth Hernandez.
Oh, yeah.
She replaced Robin Kelly.
Yeah.
Do you remember how that went? J.B. Pritzker bagged her. Okay, now, this is how the game was played. Okay, Elizabeth Hernandez, she co-sponsored 2 bills. One bill is called House Bill 460. Are you familiar with that?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I have to look it up.
Okay, well, pull up House Bill 460 because what it says is it's about funding education for all the residents of Illinois, including undocumented and illegal aliens. That's what 460 is. It gives financial assistance, and And then she also co-sponsored another bill. It's called House Bill 1312. Are you familiar with that one?
I mean, not off the top of our head. No. We don't.
Okay.
I don't follow Democrat bills unless it's something that pops out.
Okay, these 2 bills should have popped out because they are what could be referred to as the Dream Act. But they had.
Because she's been pushing that for a while.
Right. This is.
Yeah. But they got split up, and what happened is that House Bill 1312, House Bill 1312, is a bill that protects. It protects the residents, undocumented and illegal aliens from as far as schools and courtyards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The ICE can't go there.
Well, you do know she was the chairwoman of the Latino caucus, though, wasn't she, Dennis? Lisa?
Yeah, I mean, she's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And so it's not a surprise. I'm just saying look at how Pritzker's building things out. Look how he came in. Look how he took things over. And look how he's building out his future. I'm not saying that all the similarities are there, but Donald Trump was also a Democrat. We forget about that as well. Donald Trump donated to Democrat candidates all throughout his business career. Everybody forgives that. It's interesting because I always look at that. People talk about people who donate to other folks, whatever.
Yeah.
You donate to whomever you want. But at the end of the day, this is I still challenge people to look at the parallels. He doesn't care about governor of Illinois. He cares about being president of the United States.
Yeah. It would be great to see Darren Bailey win and stifle those hopes and dreams as if just the same as Raja not becoming the United States senator.
Right.
I don't think do you think we have the soldiers to do so?
I just don't know. Well, first of all, the base is not going to be motivated.
They're all disgruntled and upset, and they're all still eating each other up.
That's right. And again, will the voters come out with Trump not on the ballot?
Yeah.
That matters, and we've talked about this on the show, that a lot of people who vote for Donald Trump, be they Democrat, Republican, or somewhere in between, only come out for that race.
Yeah.
So is there enough Republican voters, and can Darren Bailey push the independents over to make a difference?
Guys, I promise you can see the list is getting smaller. It's still long, but we're trying to get through your calls. It's just a lot to talk about. I think Illinois is worth fighting for. I think I believe that, Dennis. I love this state, but my goodness, it hurts the heart to see just how far the greater fall has fallen. We'll be right back.
Hugh Hewitt is pleased with the progress.
Can you imagine? And I'm sure the Iranian Navy was proud of the Iranian Navy. It's all sunk. All of it. Can you imagine what they think about this regime getting into this stupid war because the stupid mullahs wouldn't give up their uranium? They had all these wonderful ships they practiced all these years. They made all that propaganda of it. They're all sunk.
The Hugh Hewitt Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Alex Marlowe at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
What happens when a school is truly built around teenage girls? Their growth, their confidence, their faith, their future? You get bold young women who lead without hesitation, speak without fear, and discover exactly who they're meant to be. Rosary College Prep in Aurora is the only all-girls college prep high school in the western suburbs, and we've been doing this since 1962. We know how girls learn best. That's why our students thrive in STEM, the arts, and leadership at remarkable rates, even earning AP Platinum status from the College Board. At Rosary, your daughter won't just be educated. She'll be seen, challenged, and supported every single day. Girls here collaborate, inspire each other, and grow grounded in faith and driven by purpose. Come see it for yourself. Schedule a personal tour at rosaryprep.org. That's rosaryprep.org.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANSindustrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
Black and Right continues. Once again, here's John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. All right, Dennis, let's get through these calls, okay? Let's get through these calls. Marion from Bensenville, welcome to Black and Right.
Thank you, John. I wanted to mention I moved into Oak Park in 1957. I was in my mid-20s, and I was one of the few Democrats in the town. It was an Irish Catholic neighborhood, and I was the only one supporting John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Oak Park was redistricted into 3 different congressional. And by the time I moved out in 2001, I was one of the few Republicans. I moved to DuPage County, and within a few years, DuPage County was redistricted. In the 25 years I've lived in DuPage County, I've been redistricted into 3 different congressional districts. I can see where it is going Democrat more, and I really think all this redistricting breaks up any Republican stronghold.
No, that's true, Mary. So I forget which one of the AI machines I had redraw the map based upon if we it went. There would be 9 Democrat congressional seats, 8 Republican congressional seats if they did it. What's the wording? The term concise and compact.
Right. Yeah, it's supposed to be contiguous
and
compact. And so, Marion, you're right. When I was a state rep, when I ran for 2012, my district was districted into 5 different pieces.
Yeah.
And my mentor would explain to me how congressional districts would be drawn because you continue to creep. You take people's votes, you basically make them useless, and then people get frustrated. John and I were talking about Robin Kelly's district. Her congressional district goes all the way down to Danville. You see Congressman Jackson's district goes to New Lenox and south of there. So you're taking a bunch of Republican voters, you're chilling their speech, your vote means nothing, and people start just giving up on everything from Park District Commissioner all the way up to U.S. Senate.
Thank you, Marion. That's another thing. We don't build out a base. We just simply don't build out a base. I didn't see he was on the line. Valon, hold on. I didn't even see you there. Let's go to Don from Naperville.
All right. President Trump got 45% of the vote the last election. So don't tell me that it's not possible to win this state, okay? Here's what you have to do. You have to go after what President Trump did. You have to go after the Achilles heel. Right? People can't measure the gas tax. When they fill their tank, they don't know what the gas tax is. But here's what they do know. They do see the crime around them. And the crime is making their home insurance go up. It's making their auto insurance go up. The property taxes are going up. That's the Achilles heel. And I'll tell you what, on the moms groups, they are furious in Naperville because the Naperville police put out a bulletin about, people being approached in the parking lot. And, look what happened at the District 203 board meeting. All I kept reading was the amount of property taxes that these moms pay, and they want to cut our teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, I you know what? Yes. I understand Governor Pritzker has the money. He can buy the votes. But you can only hold the water so long to say, please keep ignoring the chaos around you.
Hey, Don. Don, let me stop you real quick. Because here's the distinction and the difference. Donald Trump, first of all, is not on the ballot. It's during a presidential. I do kind of sort of wish our elections were on the presidential cycle, Dennis, instead of the off year of the presidential.
That's how we used to win.
Yeah.
We would have been.
Well, this is the problem. You need a candidate who has to be able to make the argument.
Yeah.
You have to be able to articulate it. You have, especially if you've lived it. I mean, my area is people with disabilities. We rank almost last. But yet I see a lot of people in the disability community, they think it's fantastic here, and you're like, what in the world?
Yeah.
How are things going to get better? You're actually happy that we rank last?
That's true.
It's like, I can't wrap my head around it. I don't understand, but, who knows?
All right, thanks.
But I think when you see the college kids moving out of state, trust me, those parents are going to follow.
Well, Dennis is one of them. Thanks, Don.
Yes.
You're one of them.
It very well could be. My son's not planning. I mean, I don't know how long he'll stay, but he liked living in Florida. He likes the South.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
All right, can I get these calls off, man?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Mike from Northfield. I want to get to Verlon.
Oh, my.
What's up,
Mike?
Mike?
John, welcome to another edition of a weekend show that should be done during the weekdays.
Amen.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to keep this short. I'm a guy that will keep you on the phone forever, but I want a question that I'm going to present to you guys, and I want you to think about it. Will the Save America Act actually help Illinois flip?
Will the who?
Will the Save America Act help Illinois flip red?
Well, the question becomes, does it become active? Is this a bill that once passed, it becomes enacted right away?
I think
that's the only way it should be.
Well, assuming it goes into effect and would be into November elections, and the Mike Bost suing the state of Illinois for counting, when you get rid of all this early vote and your vote counts for 2 weeks after the election, that's where the gamesmanship has started, and that's how you also chill the vote, because Democrats will mail their ballot in happily, and Republicans don't want to do that. So they've played the game, and they know the score, and so they are playing 5G
They've created
chess.
a system that is almost it's almost impenetrable, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, go ahead.
Gentlemen, I want you to think about this. On a bill or a referendum that ever gets passed, is there a delay in that bill to go ahead and be enacted when they're ready to collect money?
Yes, there is. There's always almost never immediate. Most bills take some time to take effect.
Thanks, Mike. What if they go through the budget reconciliation process, which is what Senator John Kennedy wants them to go through that process? Well, the same way that's how they got Obamacare passed, correct?
Well, remember, the Senate parliamentarian had issues with that before.
Yeah.
And again, I've talked about the zombie filibuster. Yeah. Make the Democrats go on the Senate floor and talk and talk and talk.
I'm with you.
And make them stand there and defend why people shouldn't show an ID. Literally, when I voted in Elmhurst, and I was one of the few Republicans that voted there, I used my middle initial. They checked it. They asked where I lived. It would have been so much easier. Here's my ID.
Right. Super who, Paul?
Super Rashide from Detroit.
Super Rashide. What's up, brother?
What's going on? Got a couple comments. Now, as far as the voting situation, I'll tell any Democrat, and I'm a Democrat, are you out of your freaking mind to say that you just want to mail it in? Because, that means that anybody can just mail it in. Republicans, anybody can cheat. Democrat, Republicans, or anybody in between can cheat. So, therefore, you have to show the ID or guess what? Fingerprint. Dude,
it makes sense.
That'll solve everything.
Makes sense.
Now, let me get to the Pritzker situation.
Yeah.
Pritzker this, Pritzker that. Guess what? Gavin Newsom and Cory Booker ticket for 2028 or 29. Unstoppable, baby. I said Cory Booker. You better fear that. Whether he's running as vice president or president, I know that Republicans has got to be shaking in their boots from this guy.
I wouldn't fear Super. I wouldn't fear Cory more than I would Wes Moore. I think Wes Moore.
Gavin Newsom and Cory Booker.
I think Wes Moore is a better lieutenant governor candidate than Spartacus.
And does Bernie Sanders run again?
Oh, there you go. What about that, Super?
Man, I was just thinking about Hillary Clinton, and I came to the conclusion that she's going to be too old, and he's 10 years older than her. So stop it.
No way.
There's no way Cory Booker. There's no way that that gentleman is going to run, and Hillary Clinton is not going to run. No way, Jose, because I think he's at least 5 or 6 years older than her. Donald Trump is going to be too old at that time, I'm thinking. So they're all in the same class. No way, Jose. But that's just the tip of the iceberg right there, the Cory Booker and the Gavin Newsom ticket, because
where's
they might
AOC
put a woman in there too as well.
Yeah, but Super, here's the deal. I don't know if you saw this expose that James O'Keefe just did about this pay to play, as far as it paying people to register, to sign petitions and things. That's going to come back. How much? The $19 billion or whatever, the amount of money that Medicaid and fraud that's all those things are going to come back to haunt Gavin Newsom.
I don't think so, man. He looks like some type of Batman reject. No, I shouldn't say that. They say he sounds like an actor, the Batman guy. He has the hair. He's tall.
Yeah.
A lot of women love him. I think he's going to shrug that off. He's kind of like a remix. He's like the remix of Bill Clinton.
Wait, what's that movie?
Shrug that off.
Real quick, what's that movie with Bateman? That's what Dan Prof calls him something. American Psycho. That's what Dan Prof calls him. Hey,
Super. Let me say this about Congress.
Real quick, 10 seconds.
We're gonna
wait. Super, hold on. We gotta go to break.
Okay.
Just hold on. I'll let you finish it when we come back from the break.
Alex Marlow sees good things happening with Cuba.
Cuba is showing huge signs of weakness. The fact that they've already sat down at the table with Trump's people. And so they'll probably have to soften wildly, or else you could see a regime change there. This has been a big thing, and it feels like we've got some real potential to do a lot of good without perhaps firing a single shot.
The Alex Marlow Show. Afternoons at 3, right before Sean Thompson at 4 on AM 560. The Answer.
Jane Fergus. The Hawaiian island of Oahu seeing the worst flooding in 20 years after torrential rains.
Fortunately, there have been no reports of any deaths or missing people. The flooding prompted evacuation orders for thousands of people in towns north of Honolulu.
Fox's Christina Coleman. Storm damage estimated at $1 billion. Former special counsel Robert Mueller has died at the age of 81. He became the FBI director just a few days before 9/11.
He was better known as the special counsel in the Russia probe. He did not find any Russian conspiracy in the 2016 election. He appeared at a big hearing back in July of 2019, and he took no stance when questioned by Democrats at that hearing.
It's Fox's Chad Pergram. America's listening to Fox News.
RSM US LLP is seeking a software engineer manager in their Chicago, Illinois office to translate complex tax requirements into scalable, automated, and reliable solutions. Requires a bachelor's degree or foreign equivalent in computer science or related, and 5 years of experience as a senior software engineer, technical lead, or a related position. May work remotely throughout the United States. Salary is $159,650 per year with standard benefits. Email resume to claudine.volkening@rsmus.com. Reference 2022.
You need a construction company, but who?
Call Croscom.
A construction company you can trust that shares your Christian and conservative values. For decades, Croscom has been doing work in Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana, and Wisconsin. Roofs, siding, windows, doors, gutters, basically everything for your home or business, even solar. Quality work and professional services that make you feel great about your decision to work with Croscom.
Call Croscom.
630-871-5500. Give them a chance to earn your business. If your repairs are due to storm, fire, or flood damage, you need to
call Croscom.
They're licensed public adjusters. They work for you, not the insurance company. Croscom will work to get you the money you deserve, the maximum payout. They know the insurance companies and how to deal with them. They win for you.
Call Croscom.
Croscom Construction and Public Adjusters.
This is Dan Lights with Croscom. You can trust us with your home or business for high-quality work and fair prices. It's the only way we do business.
630-871-5500. CroscomPublicAdjusters.com.
In his new movie, The Dragon's Prophecy, Dinesh D'Souza brings the new Middle East into focus with a message of perseverance, faith, and a shared global destiny.
Could the fate of the world, of humanity itself, be somehow tied to this place?
At long last, we have peace in the Middle East.
Israel and Christians are coming together in a way they have never been before, since the book of Acts.
But is this the end of Hamas and radical Islam? What does the Bible say?
We have to become fighters in the spirit for God. We don't accept what the enemy wants to do with our culture. We don't accept what he wants to do with the nation. If we keep fighting, we win.
Powerful, prophetic, a must-see movie based on Jonathan Cahn's international bestseller, The Dragon's Prophecy, combines history and scripture with faith, justice, and renewal. The Dragon's Prophecy, a new film by Dinesh D'Souza, now available on Amazon, YouTube, and iTunes.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
Did you know most remodeling mishaps start before construction even begins? Here's something else you should know. At Forever Remodeling, we do things differently. Every kitchen, bathroom, and basement project starts with smart planning, detailed 3D designs, a clear scope of work, and accurate pricing, all sorted out before you get started. No surprises, no stress, just beautiful results. Done right the first time. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, EVER, remodeling.com. And schedule your free in-home consultation today.
It's the show the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. It's Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Super Rashidi, is this your first time calling in?
Yes, it is.
Oh, are you from Detroit?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of like I'm an amateur radio guy around the nation and in my state as well. So I do a lot of calling in and also featuring on certain shows here and there. So
that's what's up.
I'm no regular mortal.
Listen,
but anyway, fellas.
Super. I'm a die in the wood, true conservative Republican, but I welcome people like you to come on the show to talk, even if we disagree, my brother.
Okay, no problem. Now let me say this.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Anthony. You're Anthony, right?
John.
Okay, yeah. Jay. Now here we go. Congress and Senate we're going to get the Senate, brother. No, we're going to get the Congress, and we deserve to have it. You know why? Your homeboy up there has to have checks and balances. Donald Trump has to have checks and balances in case he wants to get us into something else in the future, like Iran, in case he wants to pull another Batman and Robin with Israel, doing something else that can get us into something catastrophic. He has to be checked. He has to meet checks and balances. We have to have Congress because a lot of Republicans won't stand up to this guy if they know he's doing something wacky as tobacco.
John,
if he's doing something crazy, you got to check him.
I have one word for Super.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
That was the policy for Joe Biden with Iran and everybody else. And then Kamala backed him right on up, boy. Don't do that. You be bad. The mullahs are bad. Don't be nice. No more nuclear weapons.
Not just that.
Okay.
Don't be shocked. Wait, Super. Don't be shocked what the liberation of a country like Venezuela, of a liberation of a country like Iran, and what it will do for Cuba, as it relates to Republicans coming out. And then don't let the SAVE Act pass. That's going to decimate places like Illinois as it relates to the voter turnout.
Well, let me finish up. Right. Let me say this, fellas. We're talking about going forward in the future and getting into other scuffles. No, we can't allow this man just to pick and choose all of our scuffles because there's no telling what he might try to get us into. He got 3 years to go. He has to be checked. He has to have balances, and the Democrats are going to do that. But let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let him run for a third term. I hope he runs for a third term. You know why? Because Obama is going to run for a third term. Now what's up?
Oh, yeah.
Obama against Trump. Now what's up, bro? And Cory Booker. Obama and a Cory Booker ticket and a Gavin Newsom ticket. Now what you want?
I'm going to tell you one thing. What's getting ready to come out because of what the Obama administration was able to do against President Trump is going to be damaging to the Obama legacy. Mark those words.
I think not. How much money you want to put on?
Mark those. No. I don't do money.
On it.
I don't do money. Let's do some something. One of the food places in Detroit. We'll do lunch or dinner there. How about that?
Okay. Because guess what? Didn't they say the same thing about Donald Trump? And this man has done almost everything up under the sun. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like regular people do.
It wasn't what he did; it's what they created to say that he did, and the American vote, the electorate was smart enough to look through and see beyond all of that.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you.
But like I said, let him run for a third term. Obama will be right there, and that'll be the greatest. That'll be the greatest election in the history of the world.
Right.
That'll be the greatest.
Let's bank that.
Obama would take him down.
There's a place called Mosaic. They got a nice little pastries up there. Let's bet some Mosaic. Let's do that.
How about Soul Food Fixins Kitchen?
Let's do it.
It's Soul Kitchen Fixins, which is Kevin Johnson's restaurant. He's a former NBA basketball.
I'm in, brother.
The greatest of all time.
I'm in.
Basically, you're telling me that Obama's going to jail or something?
No, I'm not. He can't go to jail because of what they did to Trump. He can't go to jail. But his legacy, I said his legacy and what he allowed to happen on his administration. I've been talking to some major Trump players. It's going to hurt Obama. It's going to tarnish Obama's legacy. Mark my words, Super.
Let's go for it. Let's try it.
All right, brother.
I don't think so.
I appreciate the call, man. All right. Valon, sorry.
I've had all I can stand, and I can't stand no more.
Here we go.
Hey, Popeye. Secession today, secession tomorrow, secession forever. And that goes out to that last caller. I'm not even gonna call out his idiocy, okay? He's a Detroit idiot. That's why I don't live in Lansing, and that's why I don't live in Detroit, and I live out here with my people in the sticks.
Jackson.
Now I'm gonna tell you this. Now, Mitchell asked, I'm going to say it this way, he asked me the question about 3 or 4 weeks ago, how many people left Illinois? And I said the same thing Calvin said, 400,000 people. No. I was in a debate in Michigan on Talkback Jackson. No, 800. I was educated. 800,000 people have left Illinois under J.B. Pritzker's reign. Okay. Now,
right.
I want to say this. I want to say this. See, Dennis, he's a smart man. He's a real smart man. He has a big old house out by Myrtle Beach. He has a condo out in Florida. He has an exit strategy already. So when I say secession, Dennis is going to leave soon as he hears Chicago and Illinois is bankrupt. Soon as he hears it's bankrupt and it's going into receivership. That's when Dennis.
Hey, Verlon.
John, you are the only one that loves that country so much. You're going to go down with the ship just like the captain. No way in hell.
I hate you.
No way in hell.
Take us to break.
Bye, John.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
I'm coming back.
I'm coming back.
You're listening to Black and Right. Valon has lost it. We'll be right back.
You know, life moves fast. Staying sharp, focused, and clear-headed isn't always easy. That's why the same company that brings you Relief Factor has developed something brand new, Think Factor. Think Factor is made to help you think clearer and perform better daily. It's a powerful blend of nutrients that unlocks mental clarity and precision, nurtures your memory, boosts your attention. With Think Factor, brain power and performance finally meet for lasting daily results. Supercharge your memory, mental sharpness. Your brain is your most valuable asset, powering your creativity, focus, and daily performance. If you're feeling mentally foggy, give it a try. After a couple of weeks of taking Think Factor, it was a game changer for me. Look, the longer you take Think Factor, the better it works for you. If you've ever thought you want to be more clear, more focused, call 800-4RELIEF. 800, the number 4RELIEF, or visit ReliefFactor.com to learn more and order Think Factor. Your first bottle is just $19.95. Think Factor. Think clearer, perform better daily. Call 800-4RELIEF or visit ReliefFactor.com for Think Factor.
Making the switch to a new communications and IT company may seem like a big ordeal, but if you're not getting the reliable support, consistent internet, and secure solutions your company needs, meet Access One, your local Chicagoland IT experts. Access One has been powering Chicago businesses with secure, reliable IT solutions for over 30 years from our headquarters right here in the West Loop. Whether it's VoIP phones, dedicated internet, managed cybersecurity, cloud backups, or 24/7 support, Access One is here for you. Serving thousands of companies from Naperville to the North Shore, Access One is Chicago-owned and Chicago-run, a trusted IT partner for law firms, clinics, tech startups to manufacturers. We'll make the switch easier than you think. Let's talk. Call 800-804-8333 or visit accessoneInc.com. Rated top 5% in customer satisfaction and a Better Business Bureau A+ rated business. That's accessoneInc.com. Tech made personal locally.
Hello, can I have your attention, please? My name is Hugh McKenzie, and I'm a devout listener of The Answer. They have partnered with Food for the Poor consistently for the last few years. In the past, I've always wanted to participate, but unfortunately never had the extra cash at the end of the year to do so. But last weekend, I received the mail, and there was a bonus check for $2,500 from Mack Truck for selling commercial vehicles. I decided that I was all in. As I mentioned, I sell commercial vehicles. Everything from Mack, Volvo, Hino, Isuzu, new and used. I've been selling for over 30 years in the Chicagoland market. Call me at 630-918-9534 or check me out on the web. Google my name, Hugh McKenzie, and Hugh is spelled H-U-G-H, McKenzie is spelled M-C-K-E-N-T-Y. All right, thank you very much for your time.
To contact Hugh McKenzie, search Hugh McKenzie on LinkedIn or call 630-918-9534. That's 630-918-9534.
This is Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Before we bring Tom Meredith on. David from Lansing.
Oh, I thought you might bring Verlon back.
No, hold on. I got a David from Lansing. You broke the show.
Good evening, John and Dennis. Coming in medium like the steady flow of Penske budget and U-Haul trucks leaving Illinois for Wisconsin and Florida.
Yeah, sound like Brian.
Don't forget South Carolina.
Right, Arizona. Anyway, just a quick couple comments. Biden was Obama's third term.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Okay.
Of course.
All right, and then another one. Trump wouldn't have to go into Venezuela and Iran if it wasn't for Obama and Biden being so slack. You know?
And okay. I mean, this goes all the way back to 79. I mean, and what I just said during the break, if Reagan had just went in there right after being sworn in, and then as you followed with, people failed something that we failed to mention.
I'm sorry.
About Russia, about how we were concerned about Russia at that time.
We were concerned about Russia in the 80s. So you had Iran, you had the failed rescue of our residents, and then you had all that. then you hurry up and get everybody in, get them out, and then we're worried about a Berlin Wall because we forget about stuff.
Yeah. Before I want to bring Tom Meredith on. Tom Meredith, you are coming. You got another event coming up next week. I wanted to get you on and talk about it so you can invite people to your event.
Thanks, John. Great to hear from you. Next Saturday, March 28th, we're going to have a parade starting in Bloomingdale. We'll be starting at Wheaton Road and Lake Street in Bloomingdale. And we're going to show the people that it's okay to love the country.
Yeah. So, Tom, where can people find information about the event that you guys are putting on? Is it still in the Parading for Trump?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. And is there a website, or did you just go to that?
Yeah, it's all over social media and stuff. There's a lot of events a lot of groups that are sharing the event and stuff. But Parading for Trump, yeah.
And what time is the event?
10 o'clock in the morning, 10 to 12.
Okay.
There's a lot of hate protests going on that day, and we're going to show some smiles.
So this is
the main streets.
This is in, I guess, opposition to the No Kings rally that's happening on March 28th?
Well, it kind of shows that there's two sides, to the story, and our side is one of smiles, and the other one seems to be one of hate.
Yeah. Tom, I'm sorry I couldn't get to you earlier, but the phone lines just blew up because Dennis Revelletti decided to break the show today.
Yeah, he did a great job. You guys are awesome.
All right.
Thank you. Again, next Saturday. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Let's Valon. What were you saying, Valon? Because Kelvin, wait, Valon, hold on. Kelvin is rooting you on Facebook.
Hey, I got one more thing to say, and I'm gonna shut up. Okay, you guys, what Dennis was talking about, people gonna have to come back to the middle. Well, I'm about to name names. You think our girl Stephanie Trussell is going to come to the middle? You think Darren Prof is going to come to the middle? You think Sean Thompson is going to come to the middle? You think Jenny Eyes is going to come to the middle? And it's tens of thousands on top of tens of thousands that's just like all of the people that I just named and me. And I'm going to end it with secession today, secession tomorrow, secession forever. You cannot get along with scumbags, Democrat scumbags, just like that Democrat scumbag you just had on the phone from Detroit. Detroit is bankrupt, and guess what? Chicago is going bankrupt. Receivership is in your future because all y'all are dumbasses.
All I know, Verlon, is South Carolina's going to be getting rid of their income tax, which makes it a lot easier for me to move there.
Yeah. Verlon just had his inner Sean Thompson come out.
He did.
All right, brother. Thanks, bro.
Take it easy.
Succession today? What did he say? Succession today, tomorrow, and succession forever?
I guess forever.
Let's go to Glenn. Whew.
Hi, guys. Hope you're doing well. So I've been having conversations with a lot of people in Illinois, and let's look at the facts. Tony Preckwinkle won, Pritzker won, Julietta Stratton won. The horizon for Illinois, in my opinion, is crime is going to go up, jails are going to close, defund the police. Everybody south of I-80 is going to want to transfer into into another state. Into another state. And by the way, the people that live in the North Shore, if you look at what's happened recently in Northbrook and Winnetka, that's only the beginning. There's going to be a lot of crime going on up there. And the city is going to remain an unsafe place. Look what happened to the poor gal at Loyola University. And also remember there was a student at the University of Chicago who got shot in the train by a stray bullet. Yeah. He was just riding on the train. It was a while ago.
You know, we need more gun laws, John. If only we had some more gun laws, these things wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And the soft targets.
That's right.
Yeah. If you don't vote, you elect Democrats. If you stay home, you elect Democrats. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate the call. Jim from South Elgin. Jim, you've seen how many people have been calling.
Oh, I know. I had a long list of those things I want to talk about. But anyways, as far as the Stratton election, I say they've gone ghetto with all this Trump stuff. It's just ghetto. These people are supposed to be role models, and they're doing the opposite. So when kids talk ghetto, this is what you're seeing in her thing, in her ads. But also, there's a nice lady named Christian Maxwell that's running against Jonathan Jackson and Diane Harris. These people want to support black ladies. Well, here's two black ladies you can support, and guess what? The libs will say, "Oh, can't vote for them."
Yeah, because they're Republican, right?
That's right. And also, the They're trying to drum up again the serial numbers on bullets, but I thought the Illinois police said they weren't going to be able to support that because it'd be too cumbersome.
Dude, I disagree with it. I think it's unconstitutional, in my opinion. You don't need to know what my rounds are, in my opinion, Dennis.
Well, it's coming.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate the call, man.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
We don't have much. We don't have time, man. You wore me out today, bro.
Well, you told me this was going by so fast, and
I know.
now I'm just trying to point out real facts. If people don't want to hear the facts, then this is what. Then you're going to. Here, these are facts. The collar counties are broken. It's over. Republicans are gone. You're not going to win in Cook. We can't win statewide. I'm very concerned for Republicans. There we go.
News. If Iran doesn't open the strait within 48 hours, we would obliterate various power plants.
And why do you think that we have more ships leaving with Marines and sailors from San Diego right now? Because here's the other concern is boots on the ground and gas at $6, as we were just talking about.
They are considering a draft.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we got to go to break.
All right.
We'll be right back.
If moving safely around your home is a concern, you deserve clear answers, not a sales pitch. Access will help you improve home accessibility with practical solutions like lifts, grab bars, and home modifications, designed to fit your home, your needs, and budget. Experienced professionals will take the time to explain your options so you can make an informed decision. If staying safe and comfortable in your home matters to you, start with a free in-home consultation. Call Access at 630-616-6249 or visit allaboutaccess.com.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today! Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words switch today in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
If you'd like a smartphone that's really smart, download the OnePlace.com app, the app that will inspire your faith daily and provide answers to the biggest questions of all. OnePlace lets you download your favorite pastor's programs and listen even offline or in airplane mode with easy connections to your Bluetooth speaker or dashboard. To download your free OnePlace app, visit the iTunes App Store or the Google Play Store for your Android device and search for OnePlace. That's OnePlace.
And now, more Black and Right with John Anthony.
Welcome back to Black and Right. Let's go to Eduardo, Tampa Bay. Eduardo, what's up, brother?
Yeah, guys. Okay, I got to go fast here. Euroenvironment. This one's on 60 Minutes last Sunday. This is laser technology that can shoot down these drones. This should have been put in place before we started this. And you see in the news now they can reach Europe. And I'm glad they can reach Europe because some of these sissies that were in Dubai and now went to Spain, well, guess what? Now you're going to have to come back to the good old USA if you want to be protected from those drones.
Yeah.
So tough luck. Chuck Norris, great. We're going to miss him. Great Patriots. You mentioned the lawyer students. I hope nobody comes to Chicago for college.
Yeah.
I don't know what their parents are thinking about there.
Insane.
Stratton is a dumbass. Did you see that interview with Major Garrett? She doesn't know anything about Iran.
I didn't see it.
To domestic issues. Otherwise,
she doesn't need to.
I can't believe that. It should have been Raja. I can't believe they passed up Raja. I hear him on WGN. I can't stand him, but I got to say, he does articulate himself as far as his knowledge about foreign Asia, particularly China and other countries. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. And Cesar Chavez, I went on this. Cesar Chavez is a smear.
Cancel.
Because this guy was pro-legal migration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
he was the anti-illegal immigrant. He was not an illegal immigrant.
Saul Alinsky did not like Cesar Chavez. I saw that the other day.
Yep.
I was reading it. And there was a sentence about Saul Alinsky. He did not like Cesar Chavez.
Right.
It's a smear.
Yeah.
And Trump's president, and we got to smear him.
All right. Thanks, Eduardo. All right, Tommy, what's coming up next?
What's happening, brother?
I hear you guys got into some trouble, huh? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
who you guys got coming up on the show?
Can you guys hear me pretty good?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. So we're going to have Tom DeVore on tonight.
Oh, Tommy.
And he's going to talk about the primaries.
No, you gotta call him Tommy DeVoe.
Tommy DeVoe.
No, Tommy DeVoe.
DeVoe.
He has a there was a black lady that called him Tommy DeVoe.
But we are going to talk about the primaries. Yeah. Obviously Bailey Del Mar are on the ticket for the general, and go from there and see what's going to transpire here. See what we can conjure up here, because there's a lot happening.
Which you guys were down there in Springfield.
We were down there with the Bailey
Aaron
campaign at the Crown Plaza in Springfield. Great time, great people. In my opinion, I mean, I couldn't see anyone else pulling this off and running against JB. I mean, there's a lot of drama going on. We know that.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the local races too, there was some surprises, but all the rebel rousers on the Facebook media and all the media rebel rousers, all their candidates lost.
Yeah. We'll
so
see.
It's not working out too well for them.
We'll see what happens. Guys, don't turn off the radio. Tune in to The Unsafe Space with Jeannie McGuire and Tommy McIntosh. Dennis, final words.
You know what? I think they're going to have a great conversation, because I think they're going to build on what we were talking about, looking at the playing field for what it is, John.
Yeah.
And thanks for all the callers. You guys make this special, and thank you for always
we
keeping
lost.
that door
How many
open.
did we lose? We lost a lot of callers. Drop off.
And you had a lot of other stuff planned, but I broke the show.
Yeah, you did break the show. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week on Black and Red Radio. Go out. Guys, I'm still selling my book, Letters to John Boy. You know what I did, Dennis? I went and wrote a devotional companion to it. I just felt led by the Holy Spirit to write a companion devotional.
That's amazing.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be good. So go out and get the book, Letters to John Boy, on Amazon.com. My blackandrightradio.com website is broken right now. I don't know I think I got hacked. I think somebody hacked it and took it away from me.
Better call Tracy.
Yeah, Paul, thank you so much for joining us today. Guys, don't go anywhere. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you to all of my social media guys who are tuning in, guys and girls. I love you. I won't be here next week. Daddy Daughter Dance. We'll be right back. I'll see you next 2 weeks.
If you're over 65 and struggling with knee pain, Joint Relief Institute offers a guaranteed way to treat it. It's non-surgical and often covered by Medicare and private insurance. It's JRI's Joint Arthritis Treatment, knee lubrication placement that's so accurate, it's 100% guaranteed, and can relieve your knee and shoulder pain